Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Roll20 Presents Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely friends. Well, okay, my friends are lovely, but the characters they play are terrible. You murdered so many goblins,
What are you talking about?
basically unprovoked.
Listen, they
I
deserved
didn't murder most of them, so it's not my fault.
They deserved it.
Did they, though?
Yeah.
Did they? I don't know if they did. I think
were-
it could have been
I was
redeemed.
Should we get into the conversation about whether goblins are inherently evil? And
It says right here, neutral evil. Ergo,
There you go.
I guess so.
Hey, I'm also neutral
There
evil.
you go. Killing people who are neutral evil is totally fine.
On today's
Makaria
episode,
exists by the grace of our goodwill.
Makaria gets killed by the rest of the party because they realize it's okay to kill people who are neutral evil.
Yay.
Wow.
And what are you supposedly lawful evil?
On the most recent thing that I had to write down what my alignment was, I put neutral.
Ooh,
Listen,
is
you
everybody
can't-
except Makaria neutral?
You can't throw 8 under the bus because 8 is the bus.
Okay, 8 used to be evil, and then he
I
changed.
used to be evil.
Yeah.
Change.
8 changed.
Lest I
Changed.
remind you, 8 is 5 years old. Very
Oh, he's a Bobby. They're
So-
Bobby.
So in chat, Dirtum has pointed out that I did indeed say when I was prepping this level, oh, they don't have to fight all these goblins. It just goes to show you can never
Subvert
predict
your
what's going to happen.
expectations every day, Adam.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, and this is the thing. Even with a published adventure, all it is a big old question mark. This question mark just happens to be better defined than most of them. This one, I'm like, yeah, I can guess at what might happen when we get in here. Otherwise, no, not so much. Not so
I can't
much.
believe you thought we were gonna fight all of them.
You spent like several whole episodes not fighting them, so I thought probably we could get through it. But
To be fair, Lauren, I didn't think we were going to fight them either.
I thought we were
Oh.
gonna die before we got to the last ones.
yeah,
I hoped we would fight all of them.
yeah.
Yeah, me too. I just wanted to like interact with them first because I thought the whole
Yak is my favorite
Oh.
NPC to date, I think.
So
I was
Dave
just
is-
watching the video and I was like, I love Yak. I love him. I'm so glad he's dead though.
Dave is one of those players who exhausts the dialogue tree and then is like, well, there's nothing else to learn from you. Smack, 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 smack.
It's the Fallout 4, like,
Yeah.
well, you've stopped talking to me. Blam!
No, I've totally started doing that. I've been playing a bunch of BioWare games, and it literally is that. Just exhaust the radial menu, and then it will be like leave or attack, and I'll just like experience points.
Yeah, right. Like Dave walks up to an NPC and they're like, hello, traveler. Welcome to the town. You know, I talk to them again. Well, the inn's that way. The temple's down there. Talk to them again. Hello, traveler. Welcome to the... As they get murdered with a sword. It's good. It's a good approach. Just ring them out and get all that sweet XP.
Yep.
Yep. Which you will all be rewarded with when you get to take a short rest. Everybody's pretty beat up right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
And we got a lot of dungeon to dive into. So why don't we just do that? Why don't we just jump right in?
I
and
want
do the
to.
thing?
I want
Okay.
as much dungeoning as
All
possible.
right. Well, let's do it. So, yeah. So currently, the room is a lot less clean than it appears to be. I just took all the tokens off to help us with our load speed. It was like a third of the tokens on this level. But there used to be, and in the fiction, there is still massive piles of just dead goblins everywhere. You are currently standing in the abandoned... It's not really abandoned if everybody in it is murdered. You're standing in the market, the former market. There are tables strewn out in any direction, which means if you need any like slightly used mundane adventuring gear, you can kind of come back and scavenge this place. It's like an OB1 scavenging test for anything you might need.
What don't we
There's
have?
also a dwarf around here.
Right. So I was about to say, as the group of you plan to leave, in the quiet, you hear from over to the east, from this archway, you hear a voice. You hear some rattling of chains, and you hear a voice saying, "Hello, hello, hello, is someone there?"
Oh, well, that's my dwarf that I rightly won.
That contest was unresolved, just so
Sorry.
you know.
If everyone who you're competing with dies, that means you win.
Makaria, you can't own people.
I can own their corpses.
This conversation has been
Fair.
very uncomfortable. Makaria, you can't own people. Well,
But But what if they're dead? Could I own them then?
Yeah, they're not
Anyway,
people.
They're not people anymore. It's true.
I look at Rin being very uncomfortable and I say, we can't very well leave him locked up here now, can we?
No, we can't just leave him, but alternately, we also can't just turn him into a skeleton for no reason.
I won't turn him into a skeleton right now. I'm all out of magic.
Fair enough.
And what happened to Halithgard?
What does it matter? You saw him here? Did you? Or because I didn't see or hear
Yes.
him here.
He was in fighting goblins.
He was.
Wait, Halith was here.
Yes.
He lost.
Wait, does that mean he died? Oh, I've never seen a revenant die before. Oh, that would be so much fun. Where's his corpse?
Let's explore.
So from the other room, like you hear that voice again, like, I can hear you talking out there. Can I get a little help?
Yes, we're coming.
Over here?
Somewhere over here, yeah.
Can I like look in the room and I want to like try and like, if there's someone with a bow about to shoot me.
No, you want to just like peer inside? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So in this room,
Surprise, gold dragon!
so this room does have torches in iron brackets on the walls. There is the north end of the room, a pile of slightly moldy cushions. There is bits of half-eaten food. You see like an apple with a bunch of bites out of it, some like chicken bones, sort of scattered around the gross nest at the far end.
Question.
Yes, Dave.
Why did they get apples?
Where? That's a good question. Probably as where they got everything else, they stole it from an adventurer.
Yeah, but why would you take an apple down into a dungeon?
Because it's tasty.
It's
I
only
don't
the second level.
Yeah.
Apples last for a couple days.
Yeah. And they're good.
Eaten. That's
Yeah, right. He doesn't understand body stuff. It's fine.
Well, anyway, I like peek in and I see a moldy bunch of cushions and an apple and no goblins with short bows yet. So
Yeah, so let me finish describing the room. So on the right, chained to the south wall, you see a hideous sight, a terrible sight, a thing that no human eye or any other should fall upon. You see a beardless dwarf. His face is spotted with blood and little tufts of hair that didn't quite get shaved away, and he looks angry and miserable. He is wearing just his little dwarven loincloth underpants thing, and he looks like he has been wounded in other ways by these goblins as well. He has some cuts and bruises on him. He doesn't look like he was tortured, aside from the fact that he has had his beard hacked from him.
hello.
And he's like, no, look away, don't look at me.
Why?
And he's closing his eyes, like, you know how babies are like, you're not there, right? He's got his eyes closed and he's like, I'm hideous, I don't want you to see me like this.
Yes, well, most of my companions are hideous. It's fine.
I give her a look like I better be the exception. You did say most, so.
So you said you were hearing us. Are you amenable to coming with us then, or would you like to be?
And he's
further
hanging
enslaved?
from chains, and he like rattles them a little, and he says, I heard the fight. I had hoped that it was the goblins on the losing end.
Well, it was, at the end they did lose, so that's all that matters, right?
And he kind of nods. He says, "Why? I suppose." And who are you lot?
My name is Makaria Rada. I'm sure you haven't heard of me.
And
yes.
He squints at you. Let me see. I'm gonna make a religion check.
Oh yeah, she's not really hiding very well now that she's a cleric not of Kellenvor, because she doesn't have the same armor that she used to have.
Okay. So
So all
he
All she has is the cool skull cloak.
Does she look like a Warhammer 40k character? Like skulls fucking
She's like one of those terrible like Facebook ads for a mobile game where like her first costume she just looks like a weird peasant, and then she just gets less clothes and more skulls every time. Like elite level Macaria is just like 2 skulls and a skull and some skulls floating around. Yeah.
No, elite level Macaria is Liliana from Magic.
Thank goodness you clicked this ad, my lord. So you you remember those? Terrible. So you look around the corner, you come into the room, and yeah, he squints at you, Macaria, but doesn't say anything. And then he looks over at Rin and he says, I'm Copper Stormforge. Those goblins, they ambushed me. Locked me in here, and they did to me what you see now.
I was going to say they do seem to have done a number on you.
I have been mutilated. I'm a shadow of my former self.
Does it look like there's any way to undo these chains effectively? Currently, I don't have a key.
They're pretty like rusty. 8 could probably yank him out of the wall without too much trouble.
Ultimately, Jewel could just do something.
Jewel's just sort of watching all of this. I guess she's moved forward and like, she just, without saying anything, probably goes up and tries to unpick the lock.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we let you free.
Oh,
there is a
yes,
question
right.
That I would ask you. And there is a right and wrong answer. Wait, no, that's not the case. I heard someone say that one time. Have you previously traveled with a cleric of Joaquin?
And he squints slowly, and he nods. He says, "Aye, one of the fine fellows."
Why did you push him into a pit and leave him to die?
Gark betrayed us. Tried to take some of the loot that wasn't his. We knocked him unconscious, and well, it wasn't safe to go all the way back up, so we left him in the pit. We knew that somebody would come along and find him.
I don't know if I trust you. I would love to see if I can tell whether or not.
Yeah, you want to make an insight check? Sure.
As soon as he says that, yes, he was one of the people that traveled with Halleck, and he's the one that like pushed him in the pit, can I like see if Macaria would get a hint that like, because she knows that this Halleck was talking about like how he needed to get vengeance, right?
Yeah.
Would I know enough about like Revenant stuff to know that like I have to keep this guy with me because Halleck will be drawn to him? Or
yeah. I mean, I think you did pretty good on your religion check, and it fits your bailiwick. So I think that you know that Halleck, if he's not going to rest until all of these nerds are dead, or he is. And if you have this guy, eventually Halleck will come looking for you.
cool.
But yeah, 8, he's lying. That is a false version of the truth.
So that's something really interesting, actually, I've noticed. Despite being incredibly unpersonable generally, I have never rolled badly on insight to tell whether people are lying. So for some reason, I keep thinking, like, why does 8 know these things? But they do. I was like, so I suppose they say an interesting story.
We absolutely must take this poor dwarf with us. Look at him.
The girl's right. You really should let me down. I've knowledge of this level and a map of the one below.
Oh, Jewel, go help him. He's obviously a very valuable companion.
Looks between Macaria and 8, and then like looks at 8 with this like, she knows you're very insightful.
Yeah, like the full comment is a very interesting story.
Yeah. 8 has a built-in void conf machine, so you can tell. You get the blush response, the whole thing. I will tell you, Copper Stormforge, not a replicant.
Okay, sweet.
Okay.
So he's full of shit right now.
Yeah.
No, he's obviously telling the truth and must be guided through this horrible hellhole by such lovely and generous adventurers as we, obviously.
far be it
Uh-huh.
from me to take the vengeance rightfully owed to someone else. If you exist for, you can live for now.
Okay, that's enough for me. Jewel goes up too, and we'll pick the locks on the chains.
Okay.
But before she says that, she's like, "If you try and kill any of us, we will kill you swiftly as we killed all of the goblins."
And he nods and he's like, I have no reason to kill you, especially if you're going to free me from this place. And if you killed all the goblins, well, you've done my work for me.
Oh, you wanted to kill all the goblins. Why is that?
Do I need a roll?
I know. Yes, yeah. So he looks at you, Makari, while Jewel is doing it, and he says, well, I don't know how well you know dwarves, lass, but there's very little we hate more than goblins. Now, I know I don't look much of a dwarf, but I am deep down. And a dwarf.
I love how Jewel like touches it.
Yeah, Jewel just.
Yeah, 32. I think Jewel looks at it. She's like, "It's not even locked." Why?
Yeah, you walk over and like begin to lift your tools, and in pure intimidated fear, the manacles spring open and flee.
So for those who don't know, Jewel has gloves of thievery, which gives you an extra +5 on top of being good at this.
Yeah, so you have your stone of good luck, your thievery, and then so
She is optimized.
yeah, so you open the lock, and he does that thing. He's contractually obligated to rub his wrists.
Yeah.
Like, that feels better. And he like puts his hands to his face.
Yes, your dwarf was in your beard was in the other room.
And
if
he
you still
looks at
want
his hands and he says, I could feel the knife. I knew what they were doing, but I must look horrible. He like just like stares at the ground.
Not any more horrible than dwarves usually look.
I mean,
I
I think
have
anything
a
that
plan.
doesn't have fur looks a little horrible.
I have a plan for him. Back before we had the bag of holding, I purchased for myself a number of sacks. I will cut eye holes in the sack so that he can put it on his head.
Right, to hide his shame.
As lovely as that is.
Yes, yeah. He'll do if you suggest that. He's like, yes.
I'm just watching this.
As lovely as that is, do you think maybe his actual clothing is around here somewhere, or
He shakes his head sadly, and he says, "What's great is that okay. So Copper he's essentially nude. He's wearing like a loincloth.
yeah?
So his skin is like he's clearly a rugged adventurer type, right? Like he's used to being outside. He's got a tan, except he's got this bib-shaped like white space on the front of his chest where there's no tan from where his beard would have hung in front of his skin. So he shakes his head and he says, I'm afraid my clothes met the same fate as my beard, taken from me and desecrated. And he looks, and over in the corner, there's like a burnt pile of scraps.
No. Well, they did have a marketplace just outside, and there's no longer any marketers, so you can just take whatever you need.
He's like, aye, good. I don't know if they'll have any dwarven-sized armor, but a weapon would be nice. And he looks over at 8 and he says, if you're serious about that bag.
Yeah, and I've just like finished, because I don't do things by halves. Like I knit it around the outside so it'll like edge circular holes as opposed to just like, yep.
I can pull it over his head. Cool. All right, so now you have this guy in a loincloth with a bag over his head. He looks like a Dark Souls monster.
Love it.
And he says, "Oh, wait, I have something. But I need everyone to look over there." And he like points to the other end of the room.
I look away because I'm really hoping he doesn't take his pants off or something.
I raise an eyebrow, like, does it look like I care?
And he just says, "Turn around. I can't have you looking at me.
I'm not going to put my back to someone.
Just look. I
met.
don't have a weapon. Just look over there. Turn around."
Have my token around.
All right. I mean, does everybody turn around?
Yeah, Jewel like does the cat thing.
I walk out of the room because I don't care.
And so you turn around and you can we see you, and then he's in the background, like kind of blurry. We can't see him. And we just hear him like making some like struggling noises. And then he's like, there we go. Here. And when you turn around, he's holding a folded piece of paper, like parchment that's been folded kind of as small as he can get it, and he's holding it in his hand.
Where was
And he walks over to Rin, and he puts it out.
All right. Right. She takes between two.
Jewel has clothes on. Let her take it.
Very,
Okay, all right. So Rin,
very gingerly.
yeah, you take it. It's like kind of warm, and he says it's a map of level 3. It's all yours. I'm done with this terrible place.
Oh no! You must come with us.
If you unfold it, I have.
do.
Thanks to the fans. I couldn't find a credit on this, but a fan made this map because there isn't an official handout for it. So thank you for that.
Oh,
I'll try to find who made it and clarify. But as you unfold it, I'll show it to you. There you go.
Ooh, dragons. Someone wrote "Praise Joaquin." I know who that was.
While you are looking at the map over my shoulder, I hand it to you, Macaria.
Oh God!
You're like, ooh, dragons! Like, just yeah, there you go. Have a look.
Oh look, there's a
Pass
skull over here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that because she didn't see where it came from, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, that must have been Haleth. What a fucking idiot. Oh, sorry. What a wonderful cleric. Very useful. Anyway, you must come with us, Copper. Did we get his name? He gave
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
Yeah, he said copper. Yeah.
It's not safe to go wandering around wearing, well, practically nothing as you are.
And he nods and he says, "I couldn't agree more. Let's go take a look at that marketplace." And he comes out and just immediately begins like rummaging through the tables, looking for stuff.
And then like 8's still like right in the doorway, right? You said something about Haleth being here. I'm saying it under my breath so it doesn't like travel.
Yeah, so he doesn't hear it. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw him during the fighting.
Where was
He's
he?
lying, by the way.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
Where was he
He
during the
was,
fighting?
yeah, and I point like up to where he was fighting. He's like nearer the throne than I was. He came off from
Right.
where the stage was somehow. I mean, I don't really remember.
So I would be like going through the marketplace, looking around through like all the goblin corpses, kind of like in the direction of where 8 said Haleth was. So he said it was up near the throne. They said it was up near the
Yeah,
throne.
yeah.
During this time, Copper will have managed to put together a workable suit of leather armor and get himself a bow and a sword.
Okay. There's definitely still goblin Oh, there's living goblins over there.
Yeah, those are the 2 goblins that now serve the queen of the goblin market, Rin.
Yeah, I think the Macaria like comes up to this like doorway, sees like 2 manager goblins, ducks back, and then when they aren't like armed or slathering in the mouth, she like looks back over.
Mm-hmm.
And
And the goblins both turn and look, and they're in the middle of a project. Like they're working on this auction stage, and so they both look up.
did either of you see a dead-looking human man?
Yeah, they both nod, and one of them points to the south, and he says, "Yeah, I think he's in there."
And I'm just like waiting for them to take out their swords and try and attack. And when they aren't, they're like, right, well, I'll just go check on him. Healer, you know. Healing.
And they both just shrug like, okay.
And they're still not attacking. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. And then they go back to supervising each other. And as you come around the corner, you look into that room, you see there are several figures. We haven't seen this room yet.
Uh-huh.
So in that room, let me get the description of it. It's one.
Does anyone in here look like they're going to kill me?
So 4 iron gibbets hang from, and I spent a long time figuring out what these are, and I still don't know how to pronounce them. But they're like chains that hang from the ceiling, and then you attach people to them. So there are 4 of them. This seems to be like a goblin prison. 2 of them are empty, and 2 of them have people in them. One has a goblin hanging from it, kind of like kicking. Yeah, like bird cages for people. Yeah. One of them is a goblin just kind of kicking her feet, like looking bored. And then the other one around this corner has a very dead Haleth Gark in it, and he looks like he has been perforated by arrows and swords and spears. The smell of burnt flesh floats from here, and you see a bugbear currently like cleaning and sharpening the various torture implements that he has in here and putting them very gingerly back on a rack.
What a professional.
Right? He's cleaning his tools.
I don't want. Can I try and figure out whether I know enough about necromancy to know if like Haleth's dead, or if he's gonna wake up again?
You can make a religion check if you want.
Okay. I'm just like trying to peek in. I don't know. At 3, I got a 3.
Oh, you have no idea then. Yeah, that's the worst you could possibly do. Yeah, you have no clue.
So obviously I need to get a closer look. I think that like God, I don't know. We just killed so many of them.
Well, so while you're doing that, what's everybody else up to?
Jewel will scavenge for things that look interesting,
Okay.
and also replenish like the basic stuff that she, like arrows and things like that.
Yeah. So the goblin vendors, it says here they buy and sell stolen goods, including items listed in Chapter 5 of the PHB, particularly armor, shields, weapons, adventuring gear, tools, trade goods, food, and drink. I think there's a pretty good chance of you finding any kind of miscellaneous BS that you need.
Okay.
Miscellaneous BS.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I've used a candle and a flask of oil.
Hey, maybe they got another short sword.
Ooh, is there a short sword?
Yes.
I would like a short sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna upgrade my dagger.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That's fine.
She looks at the dagger and she's like, "You did good.
I'm gonna scoop up an
Time to
inkwell and
retire
some
you
Yeah. That's right. Down you
for
go.
throwing." Sticks it in her boot.
What was that, Elf? What did you want to
I'm
do?
gonna scoop up an inkwell and some paper.
Okay. Sure.
Some of,
I
it has,
remember-
some of it has goblin scribbles on it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
I remember that Haleth left with my mace, so I'm looking for that.
Yeah. You do not see it around here.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I figure while Makaria is like working out what it is that she would like to do in the area, I'd probably end up following the trail of blood.
Yeah, it would lead you back there.
So I get to that room as well.
Okay. All right. So Makaria, and then 8 by extension. What are you gonna do over here? So this bugbear you see walks over and is like finishing putting up. And yeah, Makaria on that cut where 8's looking around like, where's that mace? You see it on the bugbear's belt. You see the golden mace of Syamorph. And yeah, the bugbear is just humming to himself like.
Oh, and I see 8 come around the corner, and I'm just like, I need that. I need to go in there.
Oh, a bugbear.
Yes.
A single bugbear. What a threat. So the bugbear turns around, having put away the last tool, and walks back over to the cage where Haleth's body is, and he bunk like knocks it a couple of times, and he says in common, he's like, "Good work today, big guy." And then he keeps walking up towards you. He's gonna walk around the corner and see you in just a second.
I cast Toll the Dead on.
You just want to attack him, just flat out. All right, and he doesn't seem to be like threatening.
I mean, he's every other bugbear I saw was threatening. So,
Okay, all right. So you just like peer around
Damn
the
it,
corner.
you're
You're like,
killing my minions.
I cast Toll the Dead on him. DC 15, Wisdom 6.
all right.
I mean, 8 is
We
here.
die here. This is really embarrassing.
He fails. He takes 8 necrotic
And I'm
damage.
gonna laugh my ass off if both of you get bonked.
Okay, so you like,
You
ha!
hear from the
So
other side of the room
you s-
loud bongs.
You step out and it's like, blong, and he's like, he grabs his chest, like, oh, what the hell? Oh, God! And he like leans against the wall. He's like, huh? What'd you do that for? God, it hurts so bad. And he like leans on the wall and so slowly slides down the wall. Like, oh man.
We're going to need that mace. It originally belonged to me.
And he looks over. He's
Wait,
like,
please don't-
fine, you can have it. Ugh. And he like reaches into his belt and he takes and he throws it on the floor.
Seriously?
And
You're not going to attack us.
and he looks up at you and he's like, what the hell? Why would I want to do that?
Because everyone else did.
Oh yeah, and if everybody else jumped off a bridge, you think I'm gonna jump off a bridge too?
Yes, actually.
No. I don't like bridges or water. And he looks at you, 8, as you come over and he reaches out. He's like, help me up.
Yeah, I shrug. And I, like, with one hand, pick him up, the other one take the mace. I'm like,
Yeah, all right. So he like brushes himself off. And he's like, oh, holy hell. You guys are a bunch of assholes. I mean, not you, big guy. You do that all the time? You just jump out and cast spells on people?
Yes,
Why? It's mean. I could have died.
that would have been lovely.
Ugh. Well, you're real nice.
Yes, well, I don't have many friends. So you're seriously not going
I can't imagine why you don't have a lot of friends.
I just need to get in there and check out that corpse of the human that you have.
Oh,
I'm very preferential to human corpses.
well, I'm not gonna judge.
Bugbear corpses are great as well.
And he gestures and he says, I gotta tell you, there's something special about that guy. I tortured him well beyond the capacity that any person should have been able to handle.
How many times did he die?
Well, it sort of depends on how you consider death. Right? He was in and out of consciousness many times. I saw his wounds heal up miraculously so that I could stab him a bunch more times. It was great. Most fun I've had in weeks.
What I wouldn't have given to be there.
It kind of side eyes you like,
So
Where is he?
I think I like now that he's like seriously not like just straight up murdering. I'm gonna like go in and like check out Haleth and be like, so did you stab him here like with a dagger or was that
make a persuade check.
okay? Persuasion. I got a 10.
All right, so he comes over now that you're not like trying to murder him. He comes over and this conversation fades into the background, so the 8 you can like look around the room if you want to. But basically, he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that you were a professional." And he comes over and he's like, "All right, so what we do is first time I stabbed him right here where I figured his heart was, and he didn't die, so I stabbed him on the other side because sometimes people's hearts are on the wrong side. And then when that didn't kill him, and he just starts going into like, and then I poked him here and then down
she's
here."
paying serious attention and
Yeah.
like also poking at the wounds that haven't healed in his body and like the ones that are like half healed, and she's just like, oh.
And
yeah.
then 8, when you come in, the goblin that's sitting in this cage looks up at you kind of expectantly like, "Oh, hey, strangers."
What are you doing up there?
And she looks down. She's like, "I'm serving my sentence."
What did you do?
She scowls and she says, "What is everybody's got to eat, and I hadn't in a couple of days, and everybody was giving Yek so much food. And he's so tall, and I just wanted a little bit for me."
Yek's dead now. Yek's judgment has no bearing on your future any longer.
Yeah.
Your free future. And I just
Okay, make a strength check,
okay.
an athletics check rather.
Oh, much better. I love that.
Yeah,
one.
you get the big bonus. Nice. Okay, yeah. So she hops down. She probably swings down like on your cape and then lands. And she does look pretty malnourished. She's like pretty thin and I mean all goblins look kind of gross, but she's looking like kind of weak. And so she lands and her knees wobble a little and she looks up at you and she's like, "Hey, thanks, big guy. So Yak's dead, huh? Who's in charge?"
I think my friend Rin.
Rin. That's a great name. Where is this Rin? I got some bowing and scraping to do.
You know, just like point a thumb back towards the other room. I'm just like, all the other goblins are dead,
Okay.
so I felt like I should maybe balance it out with a good deed.
And
Makaria, if she heard that, would make like a scoffing laugh, like
yeah, and she grins and she says, "Well, this is not a good deed that Glom the Goblin will ever forget. You and me, we got a life debt going here, big guy. What's your name?"
Oh, 8.
She nods and she says, 8, if you ever need anything from the Goblin peoples, just whisper the name Glom, and I will come to your aid.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. And she gives you like a pat on your metal butt, and she walks out. And as she walks out into the other room, you hear her say, "What's up, a-holes? I'm out of my cage." And then she like walks off.
I feel good about this. That was a good deed.
Yep. So, Makaria, you finish getting the rundown from the Bugbear, and so like we turn around and he's like, and then I stuck the poker in his face, and I think that's what did it.
the iron poker. Was it hot?
And he looks at you.
Burning.
He looks at you and he's like, "Well, of course it was burning. That's what the poker's for. If I just wanted to stab him, I got implements."
Right, of course. Well, from what I know about him, it was probably the heat that did it. But
And
of
he,
course, now we have to find which other corpse he's going to inhabit.
And he nods and he says, usually I like to start with the heated up metal. It's real good for poking the legs. But, it takes time, and we were just in the middle of the fight, and I got left back here to, be in charge of the interrogation. It occurs to me I never asked him anything. I was just so curious to see if he was going to die or not.
Well, you did great work, and were I in the market for a torturer, which I'm not because I'm quite skilled at it myself, I would definitely take you up on your talents.
It's like, oh, I did. So you're a professional or just an amateur? You ever been to TortureCon? TortureCon 1491 was so good. I swear, that Skullport Convention Center, it gets better every time.
It was in Skullport.
And he nods. He says, "Oh yeah, all the best torturers were there."
I've never been.
Yeah.
Is that
Glorthon the Decapitator, Kralarg, Fistbreaker. Oh yeah, everybody, all the big names.
Is that can you get there easily from here? I would love to go.
And he nods. And he says, "Yeah, easy to get to Skullport. You just keep going down."
And the best way to get down from right here where we are, where would that be?
Let's see, because I bet he knows, but I do not know what direction it is from you, because this level is huge. He's like, "Well, it's going to be a little complicated, given that, you look how you look, and, well, this place doesn't,
I can disguise myself. You have, I don't know about 8, but...
And he says, "Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but if you could just cover that hideous visage of yours, you'd really do a lot better down here. Anyway, just go south. There are tunnels. This whole area, there's some." He puts his hands up like there's some awkwardness, but just keep out of sight. Don't pick any fights. You'll be fine. Or I guess pick fights you're gonna win. But it's south of here," and he points back that way.
Well, we didn't lose this one. Anyway, thank you so much. Aside from the fact that I would rather have preferred him staying alive in this body, I'm sure we'll find him again soon.
And he says, "Oh wait, hang on before you go. If you come around and you ever want to collaborate on a project or anything," and he reaches into his vest and he pulls out a piece of paper, a little piece of like cardboard, and he hands it to you. And he can't write or read. It's just got like scribbles on it, and it's got a picture of a skull with like jagged teeth, and on the back there's a stick man with like swords poking into him, and he hands it to you, and he's like, "There you go. So just, if you ever need anything, you want to co-torture somebody or something, I don't know how it works up on the surface. I just..."
Thanks. And Makari takes it.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and get rid of this corpse. It's not useful anymore.
And he nods and he looks and he's just like, it's not as much fun when they're dead.
I would disagree, but that's just me.
Right.
Anyway.
It's like, yeah, well, pleasure meeting you. Have fun in the dungeon.
Sorry about the bells.
That's actually Torture. That's TortureCon's motto. Actually, have fun in the dungeon. So you head off.
TortureCon, have fun in the dungeon.
All right. Well, we need to keep the dwarf.
Fine.
All right. I'm gonna go. I would like to see if I can, like, while I'm just quickly walking through the market, if I could pick up short bow, 1 or 2 short bows for my skeletons later,
Yeah, sure.
because they stole one of them.
Yeah, that's fine if you want to
So
grab
they have at
a
least
couple of
one.
short bows and some ammo.
Okay.
Ah, yes. This is the skeleton armory now.
Let me I'll just drag them in.
From Goblin Market to Skeleton Armory.
You know what I just realized is a spell missing from this game? Corpse explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Just thinking about it.
Oh,
A great necromancer trick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one's fun. Okay, so I'll put in 2 short bows.
Okay. So, Jewel, you've got a sword. Everybody that needs to pick up stuff has some stuff that they need. Okay. So Copper, now that he's been freed and equipped,
That's a silly name.
He says to Rin, I think you're having this conversation. He's got a bag over his head. You're looking at through holes in this burlap sack, and he says, "Right, well, thanks for letting me free and everything. I'm gonna be heading back up, heading home. Thanks." And he,
no, sorry.
yeah, he turns and Makari's.
I'm like all the way
Makari's
across the
like-
hallway.
Karia's like coming out the door on the other
Nope.
side. Because I was just about to be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Right, yeah. And he's
I,
like, "What?"
Quick walk over, like, we saved your life. You owe us.
I gave you my map, didn't I? It's gonna lead you to treasure and glory. What's better than that?
You need to remain with us for the next 24 hours or so to stay safe.
If you're going down, there's no safety to be found that way. I've got to get back up to the yawning portal, get myself a drink, and then go into hiding for several weeks while I regrow my beautiful face locks.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. Your friend Haleth will be coming for you, but he needs some time.
Rin, you see him like tense up and his hand move towards his sword.
Oh, I don't want to hurt you. I want Haleth.
He says, "Well, I don't know where Haleth is, but I would like to get as far away from here as possible."
I think that's a very reasonable sentiment to want to leave this place. I don't know why Makaria is necessarily standing in your way of that, because if this man and Haleth were to cross paths, that may not go so well.
Haleth is a revenant. I don't know if you know what that is, Copper, but he is bound to come after you. And I would like to speak with Haleth. So if I keep you here, I will soon see Haleth. Unfortunately, he died just over there.
Yeah, you really fucked up with that betrayal thing. Like, it's going to go really badly for you.
So your best bet, if you want to avoid certain death, would be to encounter Haleth with all of us to help you.
So like, I love, if just look at the map and like imagine this conversation. So Copper has like backed up against like a pillar, and the group of you are kind of like standing around him, and he's like looking with his bag on his head, looking back and forth at you, like, and now he's holding his sword like, what's happening? Who are these people? This is worse than it was before.
You can either encounter Haleth somewhere on your own, well, he will certainly kill you, or you can wait 24 hours with us, in which case he will come for you with us to protect you. I just want Haleth.
You want him to think that you're gonna protect him, because
Oh yes.
all right.
That's deception for sure.
Yeah, there's
She
a
does
lot going on here. I think we can roll all of this into an intimidation check,
intimidation.
because that's kind of what this feels like to me.
Mm.
I don't know what intimidation normally rolls with, but you'd be
It's
using
charisma.
Okay, so it is charisma. Yeah, so use your charisma. Make an intimidation roll. He like Yeah, it's that he's like scared of you, but you want to be more like, you need to stay with us because there are scarier things out there that are trying to come get you.
And I want that scarier thing. Can I have advantage?
I feel like this is when Jewel is like looking for her new sword, and so she's just like threateningly holding them up, but not intentionally, just
Yeah.
like
I mean, I don't think anyone is
like
helping.
stabbing a corpse by accident.
Trying it out. I don't think anyone is actively trying to help you, Makaria. Like,
Why
if you
can't
have,
I use deception? I'm totally lying.
well, because it's not just about the lie. The lie is part of the greater thing. If you want, we can link test this shit. You can make a deception roll. If you succeed, you can have advantage on your intimidation. If you fail, you have disadvantage on your intimidation. Do you want to do that?
I just I only have a +3 to deception, but I have a +0 to intimidation. So it's like it's very all right. The luck is that I'm probably gonna do poorly anyway.
It's up to you.
I mean advantage. I'll try. I'll just go for it. We'll just see. Void dice, please.
We'll see
help
how
me.
it goes. Whether we go kill him or not. Yes.
No, a crit! I got a 20. I got a 20 on the intimidation.
Nice.
Oh fuck yes!
So Copper slowly takes his hand off his sword and he puts his hands up and he says, all right, there's no need to be unreasonable about any of this. Obviously, it's wise to stick together. The fine fellows didn't learn that, and look what happened to me. Now, I don't know about Haleth Gark, but he got what was coming to him. And if you let him out of that pit, that's on you. If he's got some oath of vengeance against me, he and I can work that out if we ever see each other again.
I have a further question, actually.
And he looks, he's like, what?
Were the fine fellows named ironically, or was it only made ironic after the fact that you betrayed each other and then split up, leaving each other to die?
He scowls at you and he says,
it's a joke.
Yeah, right. He's just like, you don't know me, robot.
Well, anyway, best stick together. You're right. Plus, I don't think it will be too long, and we're likely not to go any further down in the next day or so, considering I gesture to some kind of horrible wound that will heal up in 8 hours rest.
Yeah, magically. Yeah, actually, nobody's that badly wounded, even 8, because that's not what hit points are.
Right.
So, yeah, so Copper, like, you see him kind of give in, right? He's like, shrugs his shoulders. He says, fine. Where to?
Weren't we going to go back to the...
We have this
Organ.
lovely room full of bones.
You can't force him to play the bone organ. He's not going to.
Anyway, there was a room that seemed rather safe. We were going to have a quick rest. You look like you could use one as well, what with hanging from the ceiling.
And he looks at you skeptically and he says, safe? Down here? Oh no. I think you aren't likely to find much safety in. Well, he looks around. I suppose if you kill everything.
That's the plan. Let's go.
All right, so where are you going?
Oh, the bone organ room was where we decided we were going to try and rest, right?
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah.
How are we doing on time? Is it feasible?
To take a long rest?
I think there's like another 4 hours at least.
6 hours before you can start another long rest.
The thing is, though, we're not going to do anything else. I think we're just going to stand there for 6 hours.
That's the hard thing is that like I have no hit points, 1 hit die.
Exploring anything new is a death sentence to our entire group right now. It's just
Yeah.
a good idea.
However, I mean, this is the thing. If you say we go to the bone organ room, we do nothing for 6 hours, then we take a long rest, the chances of something encountering you, especially given that the hallway gives off noise on its own, are pretty high, right? Like, the dungeon isn't a static environment. Things move around and stuff happens, so
Yeah.
there's a much higher chance of that.
There's a possibility of just staying in this area, which, again, like it could get refilled with goblins, but theoretically, probably for a little while, Rin will be in charge. So that gives us potentially some cover to stay here for a while.
I feel like the
I mean,
thing
we
is just
could.
finding a place where we can kind of try and like barricade ourselves. And
Yeah.
I'll just hang out on the goblin throne and be like, hey, leftover dregs of goblins, I am your king.
Yeah, and Copper says, now listen, he overhears you talking to this. He's like, I don't want to seem like, I was just like a broken record, but that's not a real thing. I don't want to belabor the point, but there is a tavern I know two floors up that we could just pop up to and just
You do
grab
realize
a
we have
grab a drink there.
higher first floor if we do
I mean,
that.
I did just have the most horrible wine I've ever drank in my life.
It's not actually a terrible idea. We
So,
did just
back to the surface then.
But Copper, you must still stay with us. No getting lost in the tavern now.
I'm going to leave that to you, Macaria.
I hate dwarves.
You can keep an eye on him if that's what you
him
want.
being around angers me, but if he must,
No, but 8, you don't understand. Haleth will come back for him in 24 hours. I just know he will.
I know you
It'll
have a
probably be easier for Hala to find him if he's on the surface. And then Jules like, I'm really good at following people.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Jewel, could you, not being subtle at all.
What are you asking Jewel to do?
Oh, to keep an eye on Copper.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a given.
Yeah,
For me.
of course. Whatever disgusting trinket you wish is yours.
I'm down a few lives. Bring me back next time.
Oh, of course. Have I ever not brought you back?
Just because you haven't doesn't mean you won't.
let's go become inebriated.
I want that on a t-shirt. Just a picture of 8 with a speech roll that says, let's go become inebriated.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Pretty damn good. All right, so you want to head back up to level 1. All right, let me gather the tokens because we didn't have these tokens on level 1 last time.
Oh,
So
that's true. We got cool new tokens.
Yeah, let me copy and paste you up to the next level, and I'll bring your friend Copper with you.
He doesn't get to leave.
I don't think you should trust this guy. I heard all coppers were bastards.
I believe you.
Let's see. Where's the down? There's the down elevator. Here it is. There's everybody. Oh, you had zombies the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, my friends, are down here and have emerged from the stairs. Here we go. So yeah, Copper. As you walk out into the room, everybody okay? You're all in the same place on the map now. You found it. Okay. As you walk into the room, yeah, Copper looks around. He sees the dead bodies of the Ettins, and he looks back and he's like, "You lot do this."
Mostly
Yes.
8, but yeah.
And he nods and he says, good work. And he looks at you, 8, looks you up and down. You're well constructed. Who built you?
It's a very complicated question.
And he's like, I didn't see a maker's mark anywhere. You a custom job?
8 is not a construct.
Well, I am, but
Not a typical construct. I just know that Rin always says that you're not a construct.
You're like, Rin usually says a nice thing here. I'm gonna try to remember that.
Yeah.
this pitiful realm's technologies do not have anything close to being requisite to create a creature such as myself.
Basically, 8 is from a long distance away, and there's really no more to pursue there.
Anyway, let's go before we get attacked by something that we can't defend ourselves.
Okay. All right. So where
It was through the secret door right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
yes. Yeah, I head that way.
Yeah, there was a secret door. There's a room where Haleth was found.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And oh, look, Haleth's pit.
Look, that hole we dumped Haleth into.
And then from there did we ever go through this door? I don't think so.
I don't think we did.
So we went through this door. And there was, I'm assuming that you're all coming with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep up.
Okay. So you head north. You head north from the room with the pit in it, and Copper follows along, and you go from there into that diagonal hallway
Yeah.
leading back to where the obelisk is. And I can actually just grab everybody and dump them there if you want.
Yeah.
So
I was
everybody,
just
hang on a
trying to
second,
remember.
and I'll place you there because something is different this time when you get back.
I didn't want to like go too far ahead
Yeah,
because
so just
I'm not
stop
actually
where
that
you
far
are,
ahead.
and I will
Yeah, I'm not
and
moving.
I'll grab everybody and I'll tell you what the deal is.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, I'm gonna just place you all in this room up here, and then I'll delete you from down here. Okay, so as you come around the corner into this area, Macaria and whoever's in the front, Macaria and Rain and Jewel. Oh, sorry, I'll pull you out of the wall. You hear voices coming from around the corner.
Mhm.
So I assume you stop before you
Yeah.
come around.
Can we tell if they're speaking like goblin
They're speaking
or
common.
Okay.
So you pause to listen. Make a perception check.
Will do.
Yeah, whoever's doing the eavesdropping, just would do it with advantage because you know.
Who's got good perception, friends?
Not me.
I have a
Mine's
4.
+4.
Yeah. Okay, we like all have 4. So.
Okay. All right. So yeah, anybody
Guess
wants to.
I'll just roll it then.
Mhm.
Okay.
12.
Okay. All right. So you can pick out most of what they're saying. So one of them says, "So when do we move in?" And the other one says, "Well, we have to clean the place first, and we have to be sure that they're gone."
Oh no, they're definitely vampires. They're
And-
speaking with weird Transylvanian accents.
Uh-huh. And the other one says, "Yes, I think that's a good idea, especially if they killed all of these goblins and the bugbear." And the other one's like, "Yes, good. We should wait. But who's going to clean up?" And then it's like, not it. And like, and there's some like grumbling, and then another one's like, "Help me with this carrion crawler." And then you can hear like somebody like grunting and attempting to like drag a dead carrion crawler. And you can all hear all this from around this corner.
Are they cleaning up the dungeon?
It seems like they may be looking to inhabit this area.
You should talk to them.
Copper comes up behind you and he's
very
like,
well.
"What's everybody whispering about?" "Sorry, what? So it's stealthy, right?"
Yes, very well. I'll see if I can talk to them, because we have to go this way, because it's the way that leads back.
There was another door. Are you sure there's not another way?
No, it's fine.
There was that other door. We could just.
That,
I'm really not in the mood to run into anyone who wants to kill us. I want beer.
You hear someone around the corner be like, "Shh, quiet. What's that sound?" I was like, "I don't hear anything. No, you be quiet." And then everybody just shuts up.
I like put my hand over Copper's mouth.
This is the bag. And then yeah,
Squeak.
what are you trying to? You're like making mouse noises.
Yes.
Okay, make a deception check with
Oh my
this
God, I hate you so much,
disadvantage.
8.
No one else is doing anything.
It's perfect.
Uh,
no.
I had a
Deception.
plan. I had a plan to walk out there and also pretend to be from wherever they're from, being like, "Oh, good, you found a place for us to stay. I've got all these people."
Deception.
I was planning to
Deception,
go back
please.
down the
Yes.
hallway and try
Oh.
the other door.
I'm really good at this.
Yes, you are very good at this.
Okay. Mother of God. -3.
Whoa, 13. All right.
Actually terrible.
So let me roll here. Okay, so you hear 8 goes squeak, squeak. And then you hear a voice, you're like, oh, it was just a mouse. Don't worry about it. And then there's more like grunting and dragging noises.
I like make like a this back this way. There was another door. Like
Yeah, I nod and then I start trying to move.
Okay, all right,
Well,
fine. We'll go back the other way.
I mean, it could go another way. We have no idea. We never opened it.
It's true.
It's cool that worked. I'm glad.
Squeak, squeak. God, you dork.
Okay, all right. So you want to head back the way you came? Where are you
Yeah.
going now?
Just there was another door off of this chamber that we hadn't tried.
Yeah. It looks
Oh.
like it links back up and it might be an alternate.
And yeah, it might just be like because it's going like I don't know. It's still on that side of the room, so it could go that
Mm.
way. I just don't know.
Yeah.
We took it. So I don't want to open it without people here. So I'm assuming everyone's following.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Jewel, do you want to You're
Yeah,
so
like
sneaky.
check the door for traps.
Jewel will check the door for traps when she gets to this room.
Okay.
It's going very slow for me. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I definitely find moving individual tokens easier just using like the keyboard rather than like dragging and dropping with the mouse. But yeah, with this many tokens, it does take
Yes.
a little extra time. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can make the roll now and keep making your way over there.
18.
Nice. Okay, so with an 18, yeah, the door definitely seems like safe. There's no obvious traps. It doesn't appear to have any like. It looks like every other door you've seen in this place, pretty much.
Okay. Do the whole like
Open the door.
push it open, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you open it. There is a kind of zigzagging hallway. It goes north like 50
going-
feet and
It's
then
in the right direction at least.
yeah, and then turns.
Okay, well let's see. I'm definitely staying behind 8 and Jewel because they're more fighty than me.
You smell as you come around the corner. You smell the faintest scent of cloves. And as you come around the corner, you spot, he's not looking at you. You spot one of these guys up here. I think you can see him. He's within light range of you. Yeah. So I guess he would notice when no, they've got light sources of their own. So as you come around the corner, you see this guy, and there's a lantern sitting on the floor by his feet, and he's smoking a cigarette. He's got this like hand-rolled cigarette, and he's like leaned against the wall, and he's smoking and looking bored. He's pale. He has black hair that is like kind of greased back.
Oh my god, they totally are vampires.
He's wearing a white like blouse that is like open at the front, and he has like a gold necklace on. He has high trousers with like buttons down the front, polished black boots, and like a half cape. And
groupies.
and he's leaned against the wall, and he's smoking this cigarette with these like perfectly manicured like black nails, and just like looking at the clouds of smoke as they drift up. Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, Jewel like stops and like points at Rin. Wait.
I mean, there's a
makes a lot
door
of shrugging
right
motions.
here, right? And they're like down here.
Yeah, Jewel might be able to sneak to there, but she does not have faith in anyone else in the party's ability to do that.
I mean, we can try, and then I can talk if we don't succeed.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, sounds good to me too. It's a very short stretch of hallway. We're just gonna try and sneak down.
Okay. All right.
Oh, look at that stealth from
20, 21.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna get a 20 or a 21, but I'll try my best.
Jewel goes first.
I
A
get a
1.
I think Makaria like goes out into the hallway and she like takes it and she sees for the first time these like cool looking fucking dudes and like smells like the waft of the clove cigarette.
Oh my god.
And she does like a
Yeah,
and like it's louder than she anticipated.
yeah, and so he turns dramatically, like looks up, and he has these like red eyes, and he snarls. You can see his fangs, and he looks at you, and I think that's the reaction shot before you go to break, right? Is this dude looking up like and like smoke wafting from his nostrils angrily as he spots you at the end of the hallway. So we'll pause here. We'll take a short break, and when we get back, I guess we'll find out what these vampires are all about. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. There's some spooky dudes. So both 8 and Macaria are spotted as they come around the corner.
As soon as I notice that anyone is spotted, I'm gonna take the lead on this one. I think.
Okay, yeah. So you just like step forward, like so he
I'm
looks
just like
this guy looks over, like, what's going on here? And he sees he's about to alert, but you can say something.
we're just passing through. No issue with you or your people.
And he says behind him, he's like, "My coterie, to me, we have guests." And then you hear some shuffling, and some of the other kind of like guys come around the corner. So as they
just passing through ever worked
Yes.
for anyone.
Yes.
as they convene, let me describe the others. So there is a woman dressed similarly to the man in this kind of like lace like gown. But she has her sleeves rolled up, and she has carrion crawler like guts all over her hands. But she also has like a big like hairdo, and there's like a little pin in it shaped like a bat. And then the other two, one of them is shirtless, but he has a leather vest on that you think was a leather jacket at some point with the sleeves cut off. And it's got a bunch of like pins stuck in it. And then there is another woman who has kind of like she has like leather pants on. It's a leather armor basically, leather pants and like high heels, and she's like a leather like domino mask. And they all kind of come around the corner and like stare. They like almost like pose and stare at you intimidatingly. And the leader, the guy that was smoking the cigarette, the one you're talking to, Ryan, now that he has his coterie assembled, he looks at you and he says, "Now, where were we? Who are you? What are you doing in my hallway?"
Well, my name is Rin Stillwater, and these are my friends here behind me. Just as you have your
You could say that we're your coterie.
my. No, I'm not. And I say, the mess that you're clearing up in that
Don't
other
come
room,
closer.
we made that mess, and so have freed up the space for your use. We just need to get back up to the surface.
So you are the ones responsible for killing all of these goblins and bugbears, these terrible creatures.
Very much so.
Well, on behalf of my clan, I thank you. And he like does this like deep bow.
I mirror his like less deep, you know what I mean? Like,
and he says, "We had wondered who was responsible for killing those creatures. They've been a thorn in our side for some time."
well,
It was all me, actually.
Shut up. A thorn no longer, it seems.
And he says, "I'm being rude. Let me introduce myself. I am Lord Bloodtalon. And this..."
Oh, fucking course.
He gestures next to him. He says,
Bloodtalon.
he says,
Yeah,
and
this is my.
let me finish.
Lucille McDeathface.
Yeah. So he gestures next to him and he says, "And this beautiful, terrible creature," and he gestures to the woman, "is my wife, Lady Shadowvane." And she kind of like fans herself and like looks at you. And he says, "And behind me, my enforcers, Carla the Bleak." And Carla just like snarls at you. And this is Edward. And the guy in the vest like waves. "Hi." And he says,
Why is Edward covered in glitter?
right? so Lord Bloodtalon looks up at you and he says, "The leaders of our clan, I know, would be excited to meet you. We are so rarely exposed to those who have such a clear disregard for life as we do. Will you come with us to our lair?"
Is there wine there?
And they all look at each other like, "Oh, this
Ale.
foolish mortal." And he
Whiskey.
says, "Oh yes, our lair has many delicacies. It has been
Yeah.
so long since we had friends for dinner. And the rest of them like giggle.
Yeah, that sounds like you're gonna eat us.
Do you really think so, Jewel?
She's like side eyes.
Here's what I would suggest. My
So sorry.
people are a little tired. We were just headed back upstairs, but if you're clearing this place out to make your new area, however you want to
Hallway.
put it, your hallway, then perhaps we'll see you on the way back down. We do plan to be back.
He says, if you wish to travel these halls unimpeded, you will need the permission of our antediluvian overlord.
Uh-huh.
Without that, I cannot promise you safety in these halls.
You're so lucky I only got 4 health left.
It's the only reason I'm indulging this as well, Dave.
Yeah, you think I would have popped these guys on you when you had full health? I don't think so.
All right. Well, then let's have a conversation, shall we? Me and your leader.
And yeah, and he nods and he says, "Good, yes, come with us." And you
Do we have to?
you head off into the dungeon.
I'm gonna go with him at the very least because
Because I don't
we
really
have to
have
fight
food.
vampires every time we come up and down this fucking hallway. It's gonna pain my ass.
But yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move all of you because it's a little ways away.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Let me put you back here. So you find
let's have a 6-hour talk and then we can discuss our deal for about 8 hours in a tiny hut.
So you find yourselves back over here in the room in which all of the pillars were,
Mm-hmm.
and they are leading you north from here up
Okay.
this way. And so they
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Somewhere along the path when we're walking with them, can I have Eyes of the Graved? I can just open my awareness to magically detect
yes.
undead.
Yeah, there are no undead within 60 feet of you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent.
So you follow these vampires, and everything that they do is like kind of over the top and theatrical. Like they don't walk, they glide, and like there's a lot of very like they're making sure you're watching them as they like come around the corner. And so yeah, they lead you up to this intersection where you haven't been before. And on the wall, etched in the stone, there is a symbol, and the symbol looks like a cross, but instead of the bit at the top, it's like a circle or like an oval. Yeah, you
So
see
what
it.
you're telling us is an Ankh, right?
I mean, you wouldn't have context for it as such, but you see that etched into the wall up here, and they make sure that you see it as they approach. And and so the 4 of them they come up here, and then they say at this hallway they gesture down this way.
I think Macaria was kind of like excitedly following, and then as soon as she thinks to like open her awareness and finds out they're not actually undead, she's just like, oh, and
Yeah.
then just like less excited.
So you stop, and Lord Bloodtalon, he says to you, everything north of this intersection belongs to us, to our people, the children of the night.
What about
You-
that shadowy place over there?
And he gestures, yes, the shadowy place over there as well. And that direction, and
Even
everything
that.
north of this, it all belongs to us. And soon, and he like tenses his little manicured fingers, soon all of level 1 will be ours. You are our guests and must respect our rules. Be polite. You are in the presence of royalty. Now come. And he like, whoosh,
Like Macaria's rolling her eyes or whatever. Like over there, I can see you, Blue Jay.
Yeah, she's
And
definitely doing the same.
and like I feel like Rin is well comfortable with pretending a bunch of stuff is real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I'll be polite. Sure. that gets us like passage through this area, and we have to deal with LARPing vampires through the.
It's so funny because Makaria is like very wise only because like I need to be wise for powers and stuff, but I don't think that she's not very smart. So the fact that she has like 8 hit points and is going into someone else's territory does not mean she's going to be nice to them.
So they head out this way. 2 of them kind of hang back. I think it's probably Carla and Edward. They hang out
I loved
back here.
Edward the most.
I'll just keep following Lord Bloodtalon over here.
Okay, all right. So he approaches the door and he puts a hand on the door. That's right. Don't go to a second location. So he puts his hand on the door and he says to you, "I have to warn you. What you may see beyond will shake you to your very core. You may see things, terrible things, beautiful things here in the lair of the creatures of the night. Steel yourself."
I will
Is
do my best.
Copper's
to
still with us,
remain
yeah?
unflapped.
Yeah, Copper is tagging along and he's just
Okay,
like,
I just want to make sure.
who are these nerds? What are we doing?
Okay.
And so he looks at you, Rin, and he says, "Are you prepared?"
Oh yes, very much so.
And he says, "Then welcome to our kingdom of darkness." And he like opens the door, and within, as you pass through the doorway, yeah, there you go. I will describe this room. It is full of languidly hanging about vampire types. So let's see here. Floor 1. Let's see.
I can't believe there's this many vampire LARPers just hanging out on this floor.
So
There's at least one real vampire in here somewhere.
So this room is full of vampires. They're lounging amidst 3 6-foot-tall statues, right in the middle of the room. The statues all depict male Waterdevian nobles clad in plate armor, but they have been draped with dark fabric, like in between them. The bases of them have been covered in candles, and there are like pillows just like scattered about the room, like lots of like velvet, and everything in here is like either wine color or like dark purple or black, and it's all kind of like made up to look like a lounge. It's like a goth club, the back room of a goth club.
I've been in this room in real life. Vampire LARPing. I have done it. I have been these vampire LARPers.
Elf is like, "I know the room of which you speak, and I have a Polaroid to show to you."
I've
So-
been there.
So you see gathered amongst this many people who are dressed, again, like many of them dressed as like nobility, in that kind of like Victorian, though obviously not actually Victorian, like style. You see some kind of lurking at the back wearing like hooded robes. One of them is dressed just like a priest of Merkel. So you
Wait,
see,
really?
Yep, you see a guy wearing a long gray like monk's robe with a gray hood and like a mask that is shaped like a skull. He's just that picture from Faiths and Pantheons or whatever, right? That like
He's that one like picture.
yeah. And
Armor.
he's got black gloves with like bones painted on them, and he's just like lurking all by himself over here, hiding
is he?
next to the statue. He's this guy.
Oh yeah.
And then as you come in, you see one of them approach. He kind of detaches himself from the rest and starts coming over. This guy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know it's not like this because of your description, but I can't help but think this guy is actually dressed like a pirate and he got the wrong costume.
No, but he is dressed like he's a scary vampire, right? Like he is kind of dressed not necessarily like a pirate, but like a raider, right? Like he has this blood red like headband on.
Like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, he's got this blood red headband on. He has like a long black beard. He has like scars on his face. But he's still like kind of ashy and pale. His eyes are red. He has fangs. But yeah, he is affecting a different kind of vampire than the rest of them. And he approaches And he says to Lord Lord Blood Talon, he says, "Who are they?" And Lord Blood Talon says, "If it please you, my prince, some new friends we found in the dungeon." And he scowls and he said, "These are the ones that cleared out our enemies in the south." And he says, "Ah, good." And he looks at the group of you, and he says,
You know they're gonna be a badass when they go. Ugh.
"Yeah, he's an anime protagonist."
Yeah.
He looks at you and he says, "Dot dot dot," and he says, "Good." So you have something to say? You interrupt?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I have a glance and see like a cleric. Well, looks like a priest of Merkel like in the back, and I like look.
Split off from the group of.
No, I look at Rin and I'm like, yes, it was as a favor. I had heard of this. I am also a priest of Merkel, and I like head nod over to other guys.
There.
I'm looking at you like, why are you fucking this up right
Yeah.
now?
So
What are
when you look at
What?
him, the other guy like looks startled and he puts his hand in front of his face and he walks backward into the shadows. And he just like disappears over here, like and like runs and hides.
That doesn't work like that.
So he's hiding in the corner now.
He casts darkness.
Yeah, exactly. And so the lead vampire, he says, he walks up, and he says, "Well, you've already met my children. I am Uktarl. This is my clan, and we run level 1.
Uktarl, a pleasure. My name is Rin Stillwater.
Yeah, and he looks over at you, and he says, "We've been keeping an eye on you since you entered our domain."
Really? Lord Blood Talon here seemed not to know who we were until introduced.
And he scowls. He says, "I don't share everything with my underlings." And Lord Blood Talon is like giving him this like, "Oh, yes, my lord, yes." Yeah. And he turns back and he says, "You were allowed to live because of your inadvertent service to us. We've been tangling with those Inhumans, the Xanathar's Guild, for some time. And now that they're dead, we can expand. I suppose we owe you thanks."
Speaking of thanks, we were hoping, if you control this level like you say you do, that we would be able to pass back and forth unimpeded through this territory.
Make a persuade check.
Alrighty then. Let's hope I don't get in.
Does mine Merkelness give her advantage?
No.
Damn.
17.
Okay. All right. He says, "You and your friends are strong. You could make a great asset to the clan. Perhaps you could join us here in the darkness."
Perhaps.
He says, "For now, you are our guests. Come, enjoy." And he gestures. You look around. There's these people looking around, like lazing around wanly. And he says, "You are safe to rest here. You will not be interfered with."
Well, that solves our problem, doesn't it?
Is there wine?
Or, like,
Yeah,
at
and
least
Jewel,
14
one of
hours.
them, you see one of them, like eyeballing you hungrily, and then when Uktarl says like you will not be interfered with, he's like, "Ugh." Like, damn it, I wanted to eat the cat.
Does this?
Yeah.
Is there?
Bruce looks at them with that look that a cat gives you,
Hmm.
and then yawns. But
Yeah.
like cat yawn, so it's like kind of threatening.
Oh yeah, you have actual pointed teeth,
Yeah, just like
as opposed to fake ones that you just put on. Is there wine?
And Uktarl says, "Unfortunately for you, we dine on other sorts of things." And he
You
like
mean
gives you the
what?
wide eyes.
You drink blood.
And
No, they
when you say that, they like look at you like, oh, you're not supposed to say it. And he says, Lord Blood Talon steps in, and he says, what my honored prince means to say is that we sup upon the dark vitae of life.
Your name is Blood Talon. It's your name. It's your literal name.
And he nods, and he says, we sup upon that glorious ruby liqueur that seeps from the veins of the living.
Great.
And
oh my God.
Uktarl says to Blood Talon, he says, our guests are in your hands. I have business to attend to.
Can I again
so here's what happens. He leaves, and then you have a chance to kind of hang out if you want as Uktarl.
I just want to see if I can sense if at least that guy is undead or if
how often can you use your
once
equal to your wisdom modifier? If you'd like to use it again.
Yeah.
None of them are vampires.
Okay, I just I didn't know if one of them was a vampire,
No, none
Okay.
none of them are.
None of them.
No.
So I'm maybe, and then I do the thing, and I'm just ugh. And they don't even have wine.
If no one bothers her, Jules just gonna explore.
Yeah, you can still look around. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
kind of wanted to talk more to.
yeah, you can. I mean, you can follow him, right? Or you can tell him I want to talk to him or whatever, because he just doesn't have time to entertain you.
I'm
So
I'm gonna go pin down Mr.
okay, we'll do each thing at a time. So let me talk to Jewel first. So Jewel, each of these statues in the room are 6 feet tall. There is a name carved into the base of each one. And at the base of the central statue, seemingly untouched, is a pile of bones and a white wooden staff broken in half. And that's lying at the base of this statue. The statues have three names carved into them. I'll read them and then I'll put them in chat. The base of each statue says Elendrown, Rathendar, and Unthalas. So those are etched into the statue's base. However, they've been crossed out, and instead written over them in Goblin is several other words that I guess none of you can read, but they've been defaced by goblins. So Elendrown, Rathendar, and Unthalas on each of the statues, and they're statues of nobles of some kind in decorative plate armor. There's another hallway that leads out over here, and there's some stairs that go up that way. Do you want to know any particular thing, Jewel? Is there anything you're looking for?
No, she's just gonna fill in as much as possible. So she'll probably go hallway, and then she's just gonna keep wandering until something stops her.
Okay, let me see if anybody would stop you from going this way. Okay, so as you try to go this way, one of the vampires steps in the way. This one is swathed in black clothes. So it has he has a head wrap, and his face is masked. You can see his red eyes underneath his pale skin, but yeah, the rest of his body is all wrapped in complicated, kind of gauzy, dark cloth. And as you step up, he steps in the way, and you can see he's got a curved dagger on his belt. And he says, you cannot go beyond here.
Why not?
It is our haven, the safe place where we rest.
Well, I'm tired.
He shakes his head and he laughs. He's like, this is no place for the living, girl.
I don't think I'm the only one that's alive here.
He scowls at you. He's like, don't smell me. And takes a step back.
I can sense a pulse.
And he says, it serves us to adopt the trappings of the living so as to fool our enemies and maintain a masquerade.
Right. So if I'm not allowed in there, where am I allowed?
He says, you are our guest. Please. And he gestures, enjoy the amenities of our company. Relax. Rest. You look weary. And he gives you these wide, kind of I'm trying to hypnotize you eyes.
She rolls her eyes so hard you can probably hear it.
Right? They just roll around in your
And
head.
it just like slinks away. And her next plan is to like backtrack around a corner somewhere and stealth.
Right. So wait until he
Yeah.
goes back.
There's like curtains and stuff everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. She's gonna like back up, and when no one's looking, just like disappear behind
totally.
some curtains.
Okay, yeah, make a stealth check.
She's good. We're gonna try.
Let's see what the
27.
All right, nobody is like actively like watching you, so yeah, so you can skulk away and head that way. All right, so we'll catch up with you in a second as you head that direction. Feel free to explore the rest of that hallway. You'll find out there's only so much of it before we got to come back. But while that's happening, 8, what are you doing? You and Copper are kind of like standing at the back of the goth club being like, can we? I really don't feel comfortable here.
Yeah, like I wait until one of them accidentally looks towards us, and I think strike up a conversation. I was thinking about this. So, do you kill humans often?
So she, the one that you're talking to, she has kind of like a like almost like a feral effect to her. So she has like bigger fangs than everybody else, and kind of like has a hunched back. Her hair is all wild and like tangled behind her, and she's wearing like ratty, kind of like almost like druid robes. She's in bare feet, and she has a necklace of bones around her neck.
This is my favorite vampire.
I bet she's trying to pretend to be a tabaxi.
And yeah, and she looks up at you and she nods and she says, yeah, yes, I've killed many of mortal prey, hunted them in the night through the streets of Waterdeep. They think their cities will protect them, but it won't. I find them in their alleys. The rats whisper to me, and I kill them and drink their blood. It's delicious. And she like hisses at Copper, and he's just like, "Whoa, I didn't." Okay, lady, just whatever you say.
No, it's not. Blood tastes like actually pretty disgusting. We went through a phase back with the Lord of Blades where we all had mouths, and we did it to scare the humans, and it was honestly farcical. It doesn't taste nice. It's no nutritional value from it.
She shakes her head and she says, "You don't understand, mechanical man. The vitae sustains us, gives us our powers."
Oh, can you do any cool vampire tricks?
She says to you, "I cannot. The revealing of the power of darkness is forbidden. It is our first command."
One might even say tradition.
Get out of here. You're not there.
So, what's your favorite part about killing? Like, what's the best bit?
To see their puny life fade before their eyes. To watch the mortal prey slip away to the afterlife. And to gorge myself on their fluids. It is wonderful.
You've never seen someone die, have you? You've just never.
No, I have. I have killed many weak mortal cattle in my long years of life. You can make I mean, I don't think you have to make this check, but if you'd like to be confirmed, you know, like. And she, obviously she's lying to you. But yeah, she's like, I have slaked my undying thirst on hundreds of mortal lives. The beast cannot be contained within me. I feel its whispers. And then she howls. I'm not going to do it because I can't do like a wolf howl. She howls at the top of her lungs, like, and a few of the others like give also their own noises from their like pillow beds where they're lounging.
So you're like into the disgusting parts where they void their bowels. It smells terrible.
She says, you wouldn't understand. A life in darkness, it dulls the senses. Only the blood is true. And she keeps looking at Copper, and Copper's like slowly sidling away from you, like trying to find somewhere. If he had a beer, he would just be like drinking it, looking at his phone, like, please don't look at me. I don't want to be here. I'm just here with my weird goth friends.
I just put my hand on his shoulder. It's like, I don't think any of these people have ever even had much worse than a paper cut. You're fine.
They're nothing to be afraid of, Donnie. They're nihilists. So yeah, Copper just nods nervously, like I don't want to be here.
That's fine. I'm just messing with them. I don't have much to do here.
You're like, I just wanted to get my chance to fuck with them. That's fine.
But the Merklite.
Okay, so Makaria, we'll check in with you, and then yeah, Rin, if you want to go and like have a meeting with their guy. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Makaria, you see standing in the back corner, like basically pressed into the corner, just like looking at the floor. You see this guy in a skull mask, and he's just standing there, hoping you won't notice him.
Obfuscate.
Yeah, right.
You know you're not invisible, right?
And he definitely has his hand in front of his face, and he like looks up.
I can totally still see you.
Yeah, he looks up and he's like, "Oh, you must have significant willpower if you can see through my magic."
Oh my god.
So, do you actually worship the Lord of Bones, or?
And he
Are
nods.
you another?
He nods and he says, What? You will know about the mighty Lord of Bones? Oh, praise him! Praise him on his throne of skulls." And he comes over to you and he's like, "So, you're also a fan of Merkel? Tell me, what are Merkel's other titles, if you know of him so well?"
You
Oh my
disappoint
god, the
me.
gatekeeper.
Just kill him.
Are
Have
you
you
a
ever
real
actually
Merkel
even
fan?
died before?
He says, "In fact, yes, twice. Once when I joined the Coterie of Darkness and became one of the Children of the Night.
You know that
And then once again before that, I fell down some stairs. And Merkel brought me back to life. It was not yet my time to join him in his demonic army."
Merkel's not a god of vampires, right?
Merkel holds domain over all of the dead, of which we are one.
You look real dead. Actually, I have a direct line to Merkel. And she takes out her like augury kit. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm fairly certain that your puny experiences with death pale in comparison to mine. Would you like to ask him a question? He answers every time.
And he looks down at the the bones, because that's your kit, right?
Yeah, it's like bone dice basically.
Okay. He looks down at them and he scoffs and he says, "Huh, pff, nice augury kit. Those aren't even authentic. Where did you get those? The Goblin Market?" Ha 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 ha.
No, I removed fingers from people, and then I skinned them and cleaned the tendons from them and aged them and carved runes into them, as you do.
Make an intimidate check.
Can I have advantage?
No.
Because I'm goddamn.
No, you can't.
See, the problem with trying to intimidate
I got a 4.
is they might also think you're LARPing.
So he laughs and he says, "Ha, yeah, right. Those are obviously counterfeit. You can tell. Any true Merkelite would know that just by looking at them. You got had, lady."
Any true Merkelite.
He nods.
Rin, if you don't hold me back, I'm going to kill him.
Rin's not even in the room.
Yeah, I'm not even there.
You're not there?
No, Rin has followed
went with-
And
I
the.
Jules also not there?
I went with Captain Pirate. What's his name?
And the only person is like very far across the room, 8.
Yes, yeah, 8 and copper. across the room.
Please restrain yourself.
I have like no spells.
Yeah, none of you have any good help.
Ugh.
I think
And so
I-
he sees you getting upset, and he says, he's like, "Oh, listen, don't worry about it. I know there's a lot of misinformation about there, but a true Merkelite knows how to see through it. I could teach you if you want."
I rip the skull mask off his face
Hey, my mask!
and I throw it on the ground and I step on it.
Okay, all right. So you reach up, you yank his mask off, you throw it on the ground, you stomp on it, and he's like, "Hey, oh, my mask! Why'd Why'd you do that? I spent 14 silver on that mask.
You know nothing about the Lord of Bones and
Oh,
wearing
yeah?
his.
I've seen the bone throne with my own 2 eyes. It's just right up there.
What?
And he nods and he says, yeah, I bet you didn't know that. That's right. The throne of bones' earthly manifestation is just in the other room.
Really?
I've seen it myself.
Macaria's like, what?
Didn't you know the last known whereabouts of the crown is down here in Undermountain?
Skullport, yes.
And he nods. He's like, yeah. So when they told me about that, I came down to check it out, and I ran into these guys. And they've all been so cool to me. And then they showed me just around the corner, up there. It's right. And he looks at you, and he's like, you want to see it?
Yes.
Just you and me?
Yes.
And he nods. He's like, oh, okay. So the 2 of you head off to go and take a look at the bone throne together.
This is gonna be horrible.
So meanwhile, while that's happening, I actually think that Uktarl would have gone the other way. He's got like a room. And if
Feel free
you
to just like direct, I would follow him when he left.
yeah,
so.
I'll copy. I'll move you with him. So he wouldn't have gone north. He would have gone where Jewel went. So Jewel, you could actually be like eavesdropping on this conversation if you want to. But one of these, I just gotta figure out which one it is.
All we see of Jula is just her tail like twitching underneath the curtains.
Yeah, you're invisible as heck. Okay, so let me move you, Rin. So you follow him into this hallway, and then through this door, and into a smaller kind of like airlock style like antechamber, and then through another door, and into Uktarl's personal, his little personal quarters. So this room, let me describe it to you. So Uktarl's room, the entire northern wall is an ancient stone fresco depicting rugged mountains hollowed out with caverns containing tiny sculpted figures of dwarves. So it's like a diorama, basically, of these little stone, like, it's his Warhammer figure collection. You're like looking at like a 20,000 point dwarf army. But it looks like it all predates these guys. Like it's the fresco is, ancient. There is a, beneath the fresco, carved into the floor is a large recessed stone tub. What else is in here?
That's where he keeps the extras for his dwarf army that he doesn't want to show off. The stone tub.
There's a wooden table. There is, inside the tub, there is a bedroll, and a pack. So he looks like he sleeps in the tub. And yeah, there's a wooden table with, there's, cards, on top of it, and a stack of coins, and some chairs around the table as you come in.
Okay.
And so, what did you say to prompt this? Were you just like, I need to talk to you?
Yeah, like I'd like to talk to who's in charge rather than, like
All right. So
the rabble.
you follow him in, and he closes the door, and the 2 of you are you're in this room together. And he turns and he says, "Well."
Well, you are the one who could make the appropriate decisions about our movements down here, it seems. So I was hoping to have that conversation with you so that we could be done with it rather than extending our stay indefinitely.
Everyone that comes down here pays us a toll sooner or later. You went south instead of north, and my children didn't have a chance to follow you.
No, but you did say you've been watching us, and so you know the kind of thing that we can do. All of these goblins just gone. Which you said already helps you out. I can't think of a better toll than that.
Fine. You killed the goblins. You paid for your first trip.
Well, I mean, how much is a goblin life worth, really? How many of them did we kill? How much space have we created for you?
And
That's more than one trip, surely.
He says it's not going to be that easy. The Xanathar's guild is just going to send more up from below.
If they're coming from the goblin market, that may be difficult.
He gives you a look like, I don't know what the goblin market is.
Oh.
But he says, they come up from Skullport, a place is crawling with them.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What about you and your friends? You plan on continuing down below?
That is the plan. Though, if we can't get through this first level, then going back up and down is going to become a chore.
You can see something occur to him. And he says, you know, I might have use of you and your friends. If you can help me and my children out, then maybe I could see fit to letting you move around our level without having to pay the toll.
And how would I do that?
We are not the only of our kind down here. To the north, you'll find Haria and her children. There was a schism. They didn't agree with the traditions that run this clan, and they decided to make their own. She's arrogant. She talks a big game, and the rest of them followed. Go and convince her of the error of her ways.
You'd like us to convince your former friends, I assume. that they
He
should-
shakes his head and he says, No, not friends. Never friends. Not in the darkness. But we are of one blood. She betrayed me and mine. Go and convince her to come back or kill them for all I care. It's what she deserves.
That is the piece of information that I needed.
Yeah, he shakes his head and he says, sometimes those who are given the gift of blood, they don't deserve it anymore.
So north of here, then.
He nods. And if you do that for me, well, then you can come and go as you please. I promise you, you and your friends will go untouched by mine. I'll keep them away from you and you don't have to pay the toll. But only if you can prove to me that you've blessed Haria with a final death.
Well, that shouldn't be too difficult. It's like you can almost see that she's trying to think of like if this is like technically we're in Undermountain, even though it's the first level, but like is this super illegal? If I just like, because they're all just people and it's pretty obvious.
Anything goes in Undermountain.
Yeah. So she thinks a moment and then goes, shouldn't be too difficult. I think we can get that done. Nice to negotiate so easily with someone so reasonable.
He smiles, he bares his fangs. He says, yes, reasonable.
Do you not agree?
He seems lost in thought, like he's hearing the whispers you can't hear.
You are still here, yes?
And he like hisses at you, like he's surprised that you're still in the room. He's like, the call of the beast. I have to feed. Get out. And he points at the door.
Well, I don't.
Get out! And he like points and like yells at you, like, get out of here!
I'm looking around. There are no other people in here. So I don't know where he's going to quote unquote feed from. He's sending me out.
Yeah. No, and he's like the impression you get here, like when he shouts at you, it's like Beast yelling at Belle, like, get out of here for your own good, like I'm a monster. I can't control myself.
Can I make like a investigation check or?
I mean,
like,
what do you want to know?
I want to know like. He just said he had to feed. Does he got like a burger?
There might be like a secret way out. Like there's tunnels and
alright,
stuff.
fine.
Yeah, you don't know.
You've got like a velvet cloth draped over a mini fridge in the corner.
Yeah.
I leave.
Okay. All right. So while you're in there talking, let's cut back to Jewel. Jewel, what are you doing? Did you want to try to, you know what's up in this room. Did you want to try to sneak through this other one over here?
Yeah. I didn't actually get to see the room because the door was never.
Yeah, the doors are shut, but you know, like now you know that
I heard the whole
it's
conversation.
Uktarl's room. You probably heard the louder parts of the conversation, but you can explore otherwise.
Yeah, she'll go over to the other door.
Haha, you're trapped in the room, Rin. Here,
Leave, yeah.
I'll put you back.
And like she'll listen up against it real fast just to make sure if she can hear if anyone's in there.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll a perception?
Yes, please.
24.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you don't hear anything on the other side.
Right. She tries the door. If it's locked, she'll pick it.
It is not locked. You can open it slightly. Okay. So in this room beyond, you see 8 bedrolls spread out on the floor. There are 2 battered and rusty oil lanterns sitting on the floor that light the chamber. And I think there's probably one vampire here, sleeping. He's lying on top of the bedroll. He is, actually reasonably tan. And he's not lying in vampire pose. He's laying like splayed out, and he's just wearing like a pair of like white underpants with little hearts on them. And he's just lying there on his face, just snoring. There's another door over here.
She goes up to the other door. She just like quietly walks across the room. Pink Panther style.
Okay. Yep.
Is it locked?
It is not locked. No.
Opens the door.
Okay, let's see. I want to see if there's anything. Okay, all right. So you open the door. This door, I think it like creaks a little bit. Like it hasn't been opened in a while. The one on the floor mumbles something. He's like, rolls over, and there's a little hallway that extends out there. And I will let you go and explore the extent of it, but eventually it just comes to a dead end.
Okay.
Yeah.
She skitters away.
Nice. Okay, so you explore that area. Okay. All right. So, meanwhile, Makaria, you and your vampire friend,
Not friends.
you're gonna go and check out the bone throne.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll move you up there.
Okay.
You are you head up these stairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go west, and then north. And then you find yourself at the end of a hallway where there's a door, and your friend, let's see here.
Not my friend.
He's your friend. He says to you, beyond this door is a mighty throne of bones, upon which only those who are sworn to Merkel, Dark Lord of Darkness, may sit, and none here are worthy. And he
Not
points,
even you.
He points at you, and he shakes his head. He says, "No, they're
And
not
what
even
happened?
me."
And how did you discover that no one was allowed to sit in the chair?
And he squints, and he says, well, just everybody knows that.
You
You
never
can't.
tried it.
It's like, well, no, because they said it's for Merkel only. That it is part of the clan's traditions. You shall not sit upon the throne.
You said it was for Merkelites before.
He nods and he
Aren't
says,
you pledged to your god?
whether or not my brothers and sisters in darkness know it, in their hearts they too serve Merkel.
Well, we'll see. Open it.
And he puts his hand on it and he says, steel yourself, mortal, for you are about to see things no mortal eyes should rest upon. And he begins opening the door. So as promised, the room beyond does indeed contain a mighty throne of bones. You step out onto a dais of stone, and in front of you, rising into vision, you see indeed a throne made out of bones. There is the room itself is a 70-foot high vaulted room. It's an audience chamber of some form. The floor is black marble, marbled through with gold. There is a high-backed throne made of interwoven bleached bones. Each of the bones' armrest is carved to resemble
God damn
a
it,
serpent.
Dave put a joke in chat that the podcast needs to hear.
Yeah, all
Dave.
right. Dave, would you like Dave's killed by his Dave, you're killed by your own joke.
Dave.
Can you muster yourself enough? Can they do it?
Okay. Dais nuts.
Perfect. Good. What else is
feel
on
like
the
you might
dais?
give the whole question preface.
I don't think anyone needs that part.
It's fine.
I just wanted Dave to have to say it out loud.
Thank you. Good. So there's that. Also, there is on the floor the bones, skull, rotted leather wing flaps, and stinger of a wyvern,
What?
intermingled with shards of clear crystal.
What?
And so he's not looking at the throne. Your Mercolite friend is looking at you, checking your reaction to the throne. What do we see on Makaria's face?
I feel like she's like very much like got her nose kind of in the air, like I'm too fancy for your fake Mercolite bullshit. But like she also, I mean, it is in Undermountain and it is a throne made of bones, and he just said I wasn't allowed to sit on it. So I think that she like goes up to like closer inspect it, and just be like, I've seen the bone throne before in my unconscious mind. Totally. Does this look like?
You've never actually seen Merkel's throne of bones. You don't know what it looks like. This
You
is
said
a
that I
throne.
did.
It's a throne made of bones.
So you said that no one but a true Mercolite may sit upon the throne. Is
Yeah,
that-
and I think you're close to it, and he's like, "Oh, don't touch it. It's still in such good condition."
Makaria like puts one hand out to touch the like arm part,
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, wait, what are you doing? Don't touch it."
and then she like strokes it.
Okay. Yeah, it's cold.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Oh no, the resale value."
It's cold?
Yeah.
And he's just still looking at me like he's not doing anything to stop me.
I mean, he's trying really hard to like convince you not to touch it anymore.
Could it be that the
This is-
LARPers have stumbled across something more than LARP?
I wanna like
So
can I like
I think when you start that, he's like, we can't be here anymore. We gotta go. Hari is gonna hear us.
Sit.
And so he's like, he grabs your wrist and is like, come on.
no. I push him and then I sit down in the chair.
Okay, he falls down and you go to sit in the chair. All right, so we'll obviously cut away. So we see Makaria be like, haha, the chair, and you go to jump into it, and as you do, we fade out. We're gonna take our second break here, and when we get back, we'll find out what happens to Makaria and her brave, foolish butt.
Wow, that section went so quickly.
Right? Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Roll20 Presents Dungeon the Mad Mage. Should we find out what happens when you sit on the bone throne? Should we find out? Okay.
I'm gonna guess nothing.
So, Macaria leaps up into the bone throne, much to the terror of the formerly masked friend. He's like, oh no! And you sit down in the throne, and for just a moment, nothing happens. You sit here, you feel the cold aura of the throne. You see before you the bones of this wyvern. And just when you're about to be like, nothing's gonna happen, something happens.
Yeah?
Let me see what it is. Give me a second here. Okay. So you sit down, and there's a sudden chill, the kind of like a shiver that runs through you as the armrests carved into the shape of skeletal serpents animate, wrap themselves around your arms, and sink their fangs into you.
What?
Yep. You take.
Miracle's not a snake guy, and you also didn't say they look like snakes. I was looking at it. I touched it.
You take 5 damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Danger ropes.
Except death. This is Merkel's plan for you. Right in his throne.
All
Well,
right.
but you didn't say that there were snakes on the arms. I was looking at it.
It was not clear before.
Oh.
Not that would have made any difference.
Well, then I would have known it wasn't a legit bone throne.
You take 18 poison damage.
I die.
Okay, so the last thing you hear is, "Oh no! Ah, what are we gonna do?" And then you pass out. All right. So meanwhile, we'll get back to you in a second, Macaria. Meanwhile, 8 and 8 and Copper. Is there anything you want to do? Are you like hanging out? What's the plan?
I mean, I can't think of anything to do with all these silly humans pretending to be cool. I do want to start. I want to start prepping myself for a rest, I guess, but it's not going to come about because everyone's doing stuff. Unfortunately, no, I can't think of anything interesting to do right here.
Okay. All right, so you're just hanging out, just watching these nerds. Okay, all right. Well, Rin comes back, and then I presume, Jewel, is there anything you want to do down at the end of that hallway?
I guess just a quick investigation check.
You're right. You're down there just to make sure it's not a secret. Okay.
Hmm?
Just to make sure there's no secret doors or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
You know, it's an empty hallway. 23.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's a dead end.
Cool. As soon as she finds out that it's boring and there's nothing here, she heads back to things that are more interesting.
Okay. All right. So maybe Rin, do you want to talk to 8 and Jewel about what Ukcharl mentioned, or do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
I was planning to reconvene with everybody, but
Okay, perfect.
Macaria is going to be conspicuously missing.
Yes, Macaria has disappeared.
From our reconvention.
Okay, but like if I saw there were snakes on it, I wouldn't.
You didn't. You didn't
because-
see there were snakes. I checked your passive perception. It's a trap.
But
for
they
a
were like
reason.
hidden snakes.
Yeah, it's not like they were like obviously snakes. Like you put your
Okay,
hands
so
down
if
and then
I
it
would've
flipped
checked
over and
for
it was like,
traps.
haha, snakes, and it bit you.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
probably if you'd
No,
examined it with like a roll. Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, it's not that I just didn't mention it. Yeah.
I was like, if there were snakes on it, it's obviously not Merkel's throne.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, yeah, you didn't.
Merkel's the king of bones, not the king of snakes.
That's right. He's a god of.
Just
He's not the
snakes
god of
doesn't have
hammers.
them. I don't know. Probably not.
Yep.
Okay, so I come back into the room and I like am looking for 8 and our dear friend Jewel, who it looks like is down here.
Yeah. So when you all kind of like convene, Copper says conspiratorially to you, he's like, I've been thinking about it, and I didn't think that these are real vampires.
You don't think so?
And he nods. He's like, no, I'm no expert on the undead. We had a cleric for that. But I've been watching them, and I don't think they're really vampires.
Good to know. Thanks for that.
Oh.
It's funny because he's got a bag over his head. He just nods the bag.
So I turn to the others and I say, if we want free passage through this area constantly, then all we have to do is get rid of another group of these sorts that disagree with them.
What about just getting rid of this group of these sorts?
Better to have someone that we know at least clearing up the refuse in zone 1.
8, you look over and that filthy vampire is like scratching the back of her head with her foot and just like sitting on the floor.
Rather than being it being empty and then having something move in that we'll have to kill another time and another time.
Oh, that makes a degree of sense.
But you will get to kill some of them. Not these ones, but other ones.
Works for me.
Where's Macaria? I'm sure this news will excite her to no end.
Went off somewhere with a new boyfriend.
Oh. Immediately not desiring to follow any direction Macaria went.
So-
I don't think he was a real priest of Merkel.
No.
No.
Yeah, so when you're like, where did Macaria go? We'll cut back to Macaria. So Macaria, let me tell you, you wake up.
Wait, what?
You wake up. You have 8 hit points.
Okay.
So you wake up with 8 hit points and the taste of blood in your mouth. And you come to, and you're in a room that looks like it is a bedroom.
Uh-huh.
You're lying on a cot.
What has happened?
There are like drapes hanging from the wall, like dark red and black drapes. And when your vision begins to clear, you see a woman standing over you.
She looks like a pirate.
She looks kind of like a pirate. She actually does kind of have like a similar aesthetic to the other guy, but
No, it's the other lady.
She's like beautiful, and she looks like she's got like climbing arms. She's got big like ropey arms, and she has kind of like a vest on and some like piratey type jewelry. She has a scimitar at her hip. She has fangs and red eyes and like long curly black hair, and she looks up at you, and as you wake up, she says, there, now, rest, my child. And she sits down, and she is stroking your hair, like, shh, it's okay.
I'm pretty sure you're not my mom.
And she says, not in the way you might imagine, no. And there's a groan from the other side of the room, and you look up, and you see a horrific, stitched together monstrosity standing against the wall. You've seen one of these before. This one has less like Tesla coils sticking out of it.
Oh shit! She's the real deal, other than the other guys.
And so you see, yeah. And this like stitched together monster man is standing there, and she says, "Don't worry about him, my protector. He's loyal. He will not harm you."
Did you make that?
And she says, "I command him." And she reaches into her vest, and she takes out a delicate, like a lace handkerchief, and she like dabs at the corner of your mouth with it, and it comes away like bloody. And she says, "I saw you. That fool priest lured you onto the throne. He should have known better. I fed you, and now you are one of us."
What?
And she nods. She says, "I have given you my blood, and it has restored you."
But actually, though?
And she nods, and she says, "Without me, you would not be alive. You would have died. Poison tore your life from your body."
So it wasn't the real Bone Throne.
And she squints, and she says, "What do you mean, real?"
The actual throne of bones from which Merkel rules, the Lord of Bones.
She shakes her head, and she says,
I should have known.
"You
better.
poor sweet neonate. You have not seen the depths of the illusions of this place. Undermountain will show you things that are not true in order to trick you."
Yes, and it worked. So can I? My friends were. Thanks for.
So
saving
she
me.
says, Your friends are with Uktarl.
Sure, yes.
He is false, a coward, a weakling. Him and his mewling childer. You would do better than to return to them. You are among your kind now. And she like brushes your cheek with the back of her hand. We are your friends. We are your family now. Your family in the darkness.
Okay, but real quick.
No, of course not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, she's definitely not actually a vampire.
I did Eyes of the Grave again, and she's really not dead at all.
Yeah,
And
Eyes of the Grave.
I like do that, and my eyes probably like there's like a little like thing that happens in the back, like when you like underwater fish, how they have like a reflectiveness,
Right, the membrane.
and then like they clear up again, and she like swats her hand away, and she's like, "Stop it!"
And she sees something happen in your eyes, and she's like, are you seeing things? It is the gift of blood. Your magic will develop over time. The longer that you are part of the clan
shut up! You're no more a vampire than those other idiots.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh man.
What?
Live your life. And then you want to be from my cool
I
club.
got a 9.
Okay, hang on. Let me roll for her. Let's see her wisdom.
I made you go.
Yeah, so yeah, right? She slaps you. She slaps you in the face. Just
Blam!
slaps you and she says, "Insolent child, I am your maker. You must obey me." And she stands up and like pushes you back away from her.
Well, I'm in the bed.
The golem like groans. The golem's like, "Ugh," and like takes a step forward.
Okay,
She puts her hand
alright.
up and she's like, now. I think this one has learned her lesson, haven't you, girl?
Absolutely, master.
Good. That's good. And she like goes back to like cuddling you again, or she's like, "Yes, come here." And she like puts your head to like her ribs. She's like, "Shh, it's fine. Sometimes the beast makes us say and do things we do not mean."
I hope you die.
She says, "That too you will learn the truth of. There is no death for us."
Mm-mm.
Now, my child, I have a task for you.
Yeah.
Your friends are in the clutches of my mortal nemesis, Uktarl. He styles himself a prince of darkness, but he is no prince. He is a peasant of shadows at best. I need you.
A peasant of shadows.
I need you to return to your friends, to let them think that all is well, and to find out what it is that Uktarl means to do. He has been plotting against me and my brood for some time, and I would end this feud between us.
Absolutely, I will be your spy.
And she leans in and she like gives you the intense stare, and she says, "We are bound by blood now, my child. I can hear your thoughts, feel what you feel."
Okay, what am I thinking right now?
She waves that away and she says, "So, if you mean to betray me, I will know and I will punish you for it." And she like gives you a little like, a little fang face.
I'm so frightened.
And she she's like, "There is no need to be frightened, girl." She just believes you. "There's no need to be frightened, girl. I am your maker. We are bound by the blood. Now go, prove your loyalty to me." And she like gestures towards the door.
I'm out. See you later.
All right. Okay, so you leave. And where do you want to just go back into the main room?
Uh-huh.
Okay, do I need to open this door for you?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so I go out, I like frown at the stupid fucking jerk throne.
Yep.
I think I get distracted by the giant wyvern skeleton. I just want to like check it out.
Okay.
What are the shards under it? The glass or like You said there were.
Broken crystal. You can't tell at a glance.
Yeah, where is it?
Just like in the middle of the room.
Yeah, can I like go over and take a closer look at it?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Because I'm just like on the throne and I like hiss at the fucking on the dais and I hiss at the throne and then I turn my head and I'm like, oh right, there was this really cool skeleton. Let's see, I roll 10 and
Nah, you can't tell any more than this. This is really the kind of thing that like Jewel and Rin are good at.
Yeah, well, I'll just go back down the hallway then.
Okay.
Because I know better than to invest. Oh,
So when you enter the hallway, you just hear this like, and you come around and you see the Bone Throne dude. You see the Mercolite sitting on the ground, leaning against the wall, breathing into a bag, trying not to hyperventilate. He has not noticed you.
boom.
Ah! And he leaps up and like staggers away from you. And he points and he's like, you are dead. I saw you. The throne claimed your life.
Yes, well, Merkel decided it wasn't yet my time.
Praise the Lord of Bones. And he like runs over and he takes both your hands in his. And he's like, we must pray. And he like drops to his knees and just like pull you down with him.
No, I kick him.
Okay, give him a boot. He falls over backwards.
And then I go back down the hallway.
Yeah, and as you walk away, his effect towards you has completely changed. He looks up at you with the biggest senpai eyes you can imagine. Like he's just like, you're his waifu now. So he gets up and he just like scampers after you. Like, wait,
Great.
Makaria, come back.
Where are my nerd friends?
You see them having a conversation at the other end of the room. So this is the like, hey, where did Makaria? Oh. And then there she is. You see her walking down, and then there's this guy who's following Makaria. And he's dressed like kind of like she is actually, but less like a warrior.
Go away, fucking Rin, the rest of you
Yes.
whose names are longer.
Thanks.
I mean, my full name, sure, but no one ever uses that.
I wanted to show you something that my dear friend, what's his face?
And so you turn and you see this guy for the first time, and he bows to the group of you and he says, I am the Deacon Dark Robe. And nearby, someone like coughs, like, Randolph. And he's like, yeah, don't use my real name. He turns back. You may call me Deacon Darkrobe. I am an honored servant of Merkel. I speak the dark gospel to those who would listen in the shadows.
And Makaria from like behind into the next to him is just like,
I feel like Ren is currently trying to think of a cool vampire title.
Oh, yeah.
for herself.
anyway, let's go down this hallway.
I've got one for if it ever comes up.
Well, yeah, no, he wants to be introduced, right? So he turns and he's like, esteemed guests, you are here among my coterie. I see that they have not yet killed you, so you must be afforded a special protection.
Sure.
Yes, we have been offered safe harbor for the time being.
And he says, I would know your lineage. Who sent you here to this place?
Merkel, duh.
Jewel like looks around and realizes where they are. Like, I'm not gonna give him a real name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Blood on the Dark Sky.
And he nods and he says,
She's just covered in goblin blood.
yeah, right. It's all caked in your fur. And he says, a suitable name.
They know
Truly,
me-
you wear the beast upon the outside.
They know me as the Death Singer.
And he sees your violin, and he says, "Oh, we have many artists among our clan." And he turns to you, 8, and he says, "Oh, truly a death bringer. I am honored to be in your presence."
You fucking idiot.
And he turns to you, well, actually, originally they were called Deathbringers,
Shut
and they
up.
changed them later because. Anyway, I like your big sword.
Yes. In a culture you're probably not familiar with, my name would strike fear into your heart.
Yeah.
It's 4.
What was it?
This is 4.
4.
4.
And
Cool.
He just kind of stares at you, and he's like, yes, of course.
Yeah, 4 is the number of times that he's killed entire armies by himself.
And and
Sure.
he's just buying this whole
now
thing.
can we
He's
go?
He's like, eh.
Yeah.
Please.
And he says, go. Where are you going?
I want to show my friends the cool throne.
And he nods and he says, yes, of course.
I know where it is. You don't need to come. Go. I don't know. Freshen up or something. You smell.
And he I mean,
complained at LARP events.
if you want to like get him to like leave you alone, make a persuasion check.
Okay, yeah, I do because I need to talk about, fucking all these people over. I rolled a 22.
Okay. He says, yes, I should spread the word of the dark miracle. And he runs over to these other guys who are like sitting on the pillows, like smoking and like reciting poetry to each other. And he comes over and he's like, hey, guys, something happened with the bone throne. You're not going to believe it. And one of them's like, oh, Randolph, why do you have to come over here and talk to us? And it's like, yes, Randolph. And he's like, it's Deacon Dark Robes. And then we kind of like, it fades as the group of you leave.
All right, let's go this
Leave him alone.
Poor Deacon not getting his shit like respected.
That's right.
Come on, man. If he's LARPing, you gotta LARP back. You can't just be like, no, but Randy.
Yeah, they're not respecting Randolph's dark sona.
Look, you gotta be in character if you're gonna be in character. It's the only way.
Anyway, come on.
Okay, so everybody's gonna go.
So
Yeah,
I take you down the hallway until I can't see any more of those fucking dweebs.
Okay.
And then I say, so I did sit on, and I like, we're within sight once we get like, I keep going, like clicking into the typing spot and not into the map. I did sit on the bone throne and it was trapped and it poisoned me. But I was awoken by another vampire.
Which way was it? Up this way? Sorry, I don't really know where I'm going.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's up that hallway and then left. So like west, north, and then west again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I said before, there's a dais, there's a throne, there's a room with broken crystal and wyvern bones. There's another door on this side. There's several doors on the north. So the west and the north all have doors. Yeah, 8, do you want me to grab you and bring you up there? Yeah? Okay, I got you. I got you.
Jewel's gonna take a look around.
Okay.
Anywho, she wants us to kill
So-
the other guy.
Copper is standing there with his arms folded looking at the throne. And he seems like he's like thinking about something. He's had an insight or something. He's just kind of staring at it thoughtfully.
What?
20.
Snakes popped out of the arms.
And he's like, well, it's not what I expected.
The snakes?
No, when he said bone throne, I don't know. I thought it'd be something different.
Then a throne made out of bones.
And he shrugs.
It's exactly what it says it is.
So Jewel, you see, you see all these bones. You make an investigation check. It looks to you like the bones aren't scattered in a way that like it looks like they fell and broke. So the crystal and looking at all the pieces of the crystal are curved, which makes you think that it's probably a sphere. So yeah, it's broken pieces of a crystal sphere and then the bones of a wyvern on the floor.
She'll probably mention that and like look up and be like, was there a thing that maybe it could have been hanging from?
No, but the ceiling in here is pretty high. It's a big arched 70-foot.
I don't think she can think of anything that would involve a sphere with a creature in it. But she'll definitely say out loud what she like. Oh, this looked like it was a sphere with a wyvern in it. Wyvern? How do you?
I
even
always say
pronounce that
wyvern.
word?
It's a sphere full of Zahuagin.
The Hagen.
Also, it's not a Pokeball. It's obviously a super monkey ball, but with a wyvern in it.
Hold on. It's a wyvern sphere. It's a dragon ball. Come
Oh,
on.
it is a wyvern sphere. You're right. That's my favorite knockoff of that cartoon. Wyvern Sphere X.
Oh yeah.
Good catch,
No, not
Dave.
really like Wyvern Sphere Z, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, another one of those pretentious, pretenders. She did save my life, so maybe we should kill all the rest of them, especially that Randolph fellow. Kill him first.
So mean.
I'm tired. Can we take a nap first?
Yeah, Rin, do you want to tell Macaria? Because Macaria just said, like, oh, there's another vampire lady in here, and it sounds familiar to you.
What was the guy's name? Ursel?
Her name is
Ursel?
Haria, and
No,
his
but
name
the
is
dude.
Uktarl.
Uktarl, yeah. Uktarl told me that Haria and her people, the woman that you mentioned.
I didn't ask what her name was. She was.
Well,
touching
I'm
on it.
assuming that that's going to be who. Are or
Wait a second.
traitors or what have you, and that they should be convinced to
Wait
return.
a second. What?
So Uktar, I was like, why does Uktar sound familiar? So Uktarl is the guy's name. Uktar is a month in the Forgotten Realms. It's November. So his name is basically November.
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Cool.
And so he said we have to convince her to come back or get rid of her.
Well, I prefer the killing method, but whatever you want.
Well, I think the quieter we can do it before we rest would be good. But if we'd like to, take advantage of the amenities here, rest in their little lounge room, if you can stand them for however long you need to, and then come at it fresh, then we have options.
I suppose we could do some more investigating or whatever.
If they're willing to not kill us for 14 hours, that would be helpful.
Well, I mean, Uktarl said we have safe harbor here until such a time as they tell us we don't.
Yes, well, the woman, I don't know what her name was. She had a flesh golem.
Well, that does seem harder to kill.
So while you're having this conversation, the door to that room opens and
That one.
enters the flesh golem. So this enormous stitched together man pushes the door open and like steps out and looks at 8 and the others. And then behind him this vampy, in both senses of the word, woman. She comes out and she sees all of you and she smiles at Macaria and she says, good work, my child.
Mm-hmm.
These must be your friends. And she turns and like looks at all of you.
Yes, that is who we are.
And she says, I must apologize that you were forced to interact with Uktarl and his weakling brood.
What is the feud between you exactly?
Uktarl has some ideas about what it means to be a child of darkness. Ideas I disagree with. He has paltry ambition. He wants only to withdraw tolls from those who come and go from above. I have darker plans for Undermountain.
Like what?
Really?
Murder?
And
I would be curious to hear these plans.
she says, I cannot simply share them with strangers.
I'm your child, aren't I?
And when you say that, she says, yes, come to me. And like gives you like this, like, I am commanding you with my mind look.
I look at her like, do it.
Macaria like slumps over like
Good. And she puts her hand on Macaria's shoulder like, this is mine. I made this. And she says, all plans will be revealed in time as you prove your loyalty to me, as my dark daughter has. And she like pets your head.
gross.
Well, let me offer this piece of advice that this information that I have heard. as a token. This feud of yours with Uktarl, terrible name, is going to get out of hand very shortly. And if you don't have a plan for dealing with that, then I would suggest that you work on getting one. He has said to me personally that he wants you to return to the fold. And
She scowls and she says,
whether or not,
she starts to talk, and then it occurs to me that Rin would be really, really good at interrupting people in a conversation and getting away with it, because that's basically what your bard ability is, right? That let me have a word. So she like starts to talk, and she's like,
whether or not that is something you agree to, keep in mind that he is willing to do what it takes to quell the unrest within what he considers his territory.
She says, peace with Uktarl. Never again.
You sure you can't convince him of your better plans?
The time for talk is done.
I agree. Murder, probably.
And she nods. She says, one of us must meet our final death. And then the survivor can rule over the brood. Now you... Do you think he trusts you?
As much as one can trust someone they met an hour ago.
So long as he thinks that you are loyal, you have use to me. Kill him for me, and I will show you all the dark delights that our kind can provide. And she like flashes her fangs.
Well, what I really need is...
You're like, we're just trying to get out of here.
I don't really... Dark delights.
We don't want that shit. Like
pass on the delights, but here... What I really need is safe passage through the first level of this dungeon, as many times as necessary, up and down.
And she says, she nods. She says, of course, if you're willing to deal with my enemies for me, then you may go. But you, and she says this to Macaria, you and I will be bound together in darkness forever. No matter how far you go.
Thoughts,
and she nods. Yeah. She's just like, you understand. Good. She says, you look tired. You should rest. And she gestures to this door over here. And she says, my children await beyond. They too are in need of rest. Go. Join them.
Should we not infiltrate Uktarl's domain so that he can like trust us and we can murder him?
She shakes her head. She says, you will not be safe there.
But to rest with you is to create suspicion.
She shrugs.
He will suspect where we have gone.
If you think yourself strong enough to deal with him now, then please. And yeah, I like that Chat has pointed out that it's a feud separated by literally, like, let's see how far away they're literally standing 85 feet apart right now, like in a straight line.
Yep.
They're 100 feet away. It's like neighbors in an apartment complex that don't like each other. So yeah, she says, I only wanted to offer my hospitality as I did with my precious Macaria. She's like, again, like, mine for me. And then she says, but do as you will.
I'll find somewhere to rest myself and then get on with the task.
And she nods and she says, very well. Do not betray me, or you will live to regret it.
Of course.
All right. And then she fades off the map, just disappears back in her room. The flesh golem turns and follows after her.
So
here's the question.
Have to wait before we can rest.
So here's the question. Which one of them would you like to kill?
I don't care. I just hate all of them.
So Copper says, hey, I'm with the big boy. They're both intolerable.
I say we kill them all. I don't want to belong to anyone.
Let's do this more efficiently, though, and just get them to kill each other.
Well, they've already been trying to do that, and they can't because they're
You have to do is
horrible
say,
and
"Look,
inefficient.
all we have to do, it's very simple. All we have to do is say that we want to meet up with Uktarl, or whatever his fucking name is.
It is Uktal. You got it.
Uktarl.
Oh, just get them in the same room, lock them in for a while.
No,
My parents used to do that all the time.
No, you're missing my point. We say we want to talk to Uktarl. We go to Uktarl's room. Uktarl is with the four of us by himself, and then we just stab. He's just a person.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
she
that
thinks
works,
that
too.
she owns me.
And I like that you hate that, so I'd rather kill the other guy.
Why can't we just kill them both and then they won't have any
Because then we
leaders?
have to deal with all of the other power struggle, vacuum, vampire, quote unquote.
We can
business.
put Randolph in charge.
She has promised free passage 100% forever. That is
It's-
fine by me.
Is that
All
better
right,
than
then
what?
we'll
what
kill
does that say?
Uktarl.
The
We
other
just
guy-
we just go to the big hole in the yawning portal and we just pour buckets of lava.
We have to get one of those blocks,
Done.
though.
Yeah,
You gotta
right.
get like the generating blocks.
You hear this weird
Yeah.
hissing sound from around the corner.
We could collapse the whole whatever tunnel that leads to this section of the dungeon.
You
And then
are
the-
all missing the
starve
point
to
of this
death.
entire exercise.
No,
The entire thing, the only reason I have humored any of this up until this point is if one of them is in charge and all of these people listen to them, then they can secure this level, which means we don't have to deal with whatever would move in if they couldn't secure this level, you idiot.
no, I'm on it. That makes sense.
Okay,
You're
good.
like, all right.
Pick one. I'm going to say the pirate guy because I like him less.
Okay, that's fine.
the pirate guy.
I dislike both of them.
I dislike both of them, but she at least saved my life, so I guess she can live and we'll be even.
Also, she has a flesh golem and he has nothing. So
It's true.
I want to see one of them try to kill the other ones. They won't do it. They're weak.
They haven't done it up till now. Anyway, I'm actually quite tired from nearly dying 5 times today. So
Yeah, and Copper's like, yeah, I thought the plan was to get out of the dungeon, not to get tangled up in Lord
Well,
Yep.
Lace Bottom's problems.
now that we have a safe place to rest, we need not go.
did you know I noticed I was looking in my spell book of spells that I can prepare daily, and there's one where I can have like spiritual guardians that surround me at all times.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds like a great spell. You should definitely prepare that spell.
You know, I thought about it, and then something deep inside me was like, no, you can't. It's better to make people angry. And so I decided that I would rather have zombies.
That sounds like everything I understand about you, Macario.
Copper's gonna go and write something angry about this and then post it on a board in the middle of town.
Ah, yes. A message board.
So yeah, so I mean, are you gonna? The thing is that you got vampires on both sides of you now. So slipping out is like going
mean-
to be difficult if that's the plan, right? To,
I
like,
feel like
rest.
the plan is
Rest
to
in
rest and
fucking
kill that
Vampire
guy.
Number one's place. Then I'm gonna ask.
Oh, yeah, so you're gonna take her up on the.
No, no. Vampire number one is the
Oh.
pirate guy. Vampire number two is the.
Yeah, the order in which we met them.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Not the order in which you are loyal to them.
I'm gonna go rest in pirate guy's coteries location.
We'll go back
Well, no.
there.
Now remember, they didn't offer you anywhere to rest, right?
They
The
said
guard.
Safe Harbor. I'll just hang out in their fucking parlor.
Yes, if you want to just like have a nap in the beanbag room.
Everybody else is doing this like dramatic lounging shit. I
That's
can
true,
do it
that's
and
true.
sleep.
It's very faux pas to fall asleep in the lounge chamber, though. But if you
No,
did,
I'll just wear like a veil or something.
yeah, right. Just pretend that you're.
Jules a cat. She'll hide.
I mean, we could sleep here. There's a cool skeleton.
we could also just go back.
Yeah,
and
just take a
tell
nap
him.
on the bone throne.
No,
convince
it tried
him that
to
we wanna
kill
sleep.
me. It's not a bone throne. It's got traps on it. Oh, Jewel. Wait. This chair has traps on it.
I rolled a 20 on my investigation of also the room.
Yeah,
I
would you
guess.
like to take a look at the
Yeah.
dice? Okay.
If it has
Um,
traps on it, then maybe it has something valuable on it, around it.
So the throne itself, it does seem to have a like a container or like a compartment underneath it. There's like a hollow section.
I'd like to open it.
Okay, yeah, that's not hard. You just like lift the seat cushion and there's a switch that opens the front of it. It's empty.
So I figured.
Seriously?
Yeah.
This is very obvious. Look, it's just like pointing out, like, there's a snake right here. Did you just not? All right, whatever.
It was that stupid idiot.
There
Randall
was a
who
room that I
distracting.
found, but I don't think any of you could sneak into it to sleep in there.
I don't. I'm just really tired. I will sleep right here.
Why don't we go back and like tell Tarl that we're taking care of his friend? Will be gone for 14
And
hours.
then we take her up on the sleep.
Oh, that's the plan. We'll have the meeting after the rest to say like this is our plan, and then tell him the plan, and then we stab him.
Okay, well, why don't we just tell him we need a rest before we can do that plan
Yes,
and do it in his place so he's less suspicious.
exactly.
Oh, okay, great. Let's go.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So what's the plan?
Oh, what's down here? Is it another dead end?
What's down where?
This like
Yeah, this is a dead end.
Oh.
So Adam, I believe the plan is we are going to sleep in Uktarl's space, and then if anybody asks, we'll be like, "We're doing a job for Uktarl," and then we'll ask him for a meeting once we've fully rested, and then we'll say like, "This is our plan for taking out your enemy," and then surprise, we're actually here to kill you, and then kill him.
Okay. All right.
That is the full measure of the next 14 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm into it. Let's kill some guys.
Or one guy.
Okay. All right. So if you're gonna spend 14 hours in the Salon de Noir, you have to.
I work on my character a little bit. I like create a LARP persona for myself and get really into it for the next 6 hours before I have to rest.
So spending that much time around these obnoxious vampire wannabes, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw, please.
Yeah, okay.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
If we fail, do we have to kill them there and then?
No, you don't
My
have
wisdom save isn't showing 15. I get a 15.
to. Okay. All right. So 15. Julie got 14. Okay. All right.
Roll a 3.
Give me a second.
Rin suffers from some bleed and starts getting confused about what's her character and what's.
Oh no.
No wisdom
Rin
save.
becomes a vampire, she's pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
Rin,
get
you're
way
the
too-
only one. You're the only one. You end up with a level of exhaustion at the end of your long rest
That sucks ass.
because these guys are they're just the worst. Like they're just like reading each other terrible poetry. At one point, one of them sings like a dirge that lasts like 3 hours, and the rest of them, like, there's a lot of nodding and snapping of fingers. You
I'm
have
so
to sit
used to
through an
this.
entire poetry recital. It's terrible. And the others, your friends, are able to just ignore that because they're not as offended by this terrible affront to culture that you
it's
are.
Bad. It's bad music. Bad
I'm used to it
poetry.
from living with
Bad.
Calimbarites for so long.
All right.
Oh,
so,
in that time, if no one else does it, Jewel will attune, I guess, to this circlet and figure out what it does.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I will tell you in secret what it does.
No.
And then you can decide what to do with that information.
He like takes it back for Rin. She's like, "Thank you for holding on to this. I'm sorry I got us in a lot of trouble, but
You're welcome. I'm queen of the
Great.
goblins now.
You're welcome. I'm Queen of the Goblins. Yeah, so Rin, you'll have a level of exhaustion,
Cool.
and then it'll go away the next time you take a long rest.
Good. So for the next 5 sessions, I'll have a level of exhaustion.
For now,
Deal.
listen, there's a risk. There's a risk involved in hanging out with these nerds.
There's a risk involved in taking a rest in the
fine.
place we were told is a safe place to take a rest.
Yeah, you didn't get attacked.
Harsh.
You didn't get attacked by monsters.
It
Let
would
me
have been
see
better to get
here.
attacked by monsters. I could have killed monsters. I can't kill a level of exhaustion.
All right, let's see. Let's see where this business is here. Because I don't have the map. I have to like look through it.
If it's a circlet that makes you taller, can I please have it? Because I want to be taller. It's very rare.
Your
Big.
arm
Oh, yeah,
is
here we
so
go.
tall.
Yeah, I
9
just
feet
skipped
tall.
over it. It's in one of these like subsections.
I wouldn't even fit down a hallway.
Yuck, where are you? Aha! I found it. Okay. So, here, I'll just put it in your journal. There you go. You should see it in your journal now, Jewel.
What does it do? I want to know.
So you learn that, and can do with that information whatever you like. Everyone else, you get 8 hours. And Jewel, everyone gets 8 hours of sleep. You get all your abilities and stuff back. All of that business.
Do I have to attune to this?
And we have-
if you intend to wear it, yes.
And we get
She's gonna do it because she thinks it's fucking hilarious.
half of the hit die rounded down, right?
Okay, hang on a second. And then, yes, yeah, half of your hit dice come back. So 10, 1, and I'm just tracking the various timers. Okay, and then, so now you need another, what do we say, another 8 hours before you can start your next long rest? Because it's like 8 sleeping.
16. It's 16 hours. It's 8 sleeping, 16 waking, 8 sleeping.
Yeah, but it's like you can start the rest 8 hours before you get its benefits.
That's why
Yeah,
it's
which is why it's 16 hours
16.
until we can
Instead of
start.
24.
Instead of 24.
Because then
You're
it
right.
makes it 24.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So 16 hours till then. All right, cool. So yeah, you awaken after a long night of torturous vampire fakery. The vampires come and go from this room as they go out on patrol of their area. They come back from patrol. You see them coming and going from this back room occasionally, and it seems like if you had to count, you'd guess on Uktarl's side, counting Uktarl, there's probably, I'll count them up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them on Uktarl's like team.
And how much more experienced do we feel after having
That's a
this?
great question. Let me pay out your experience. So first, everybody gets 675 experience for the 36 goblins, 3 boss goblins, and 3 bugbears.
600 and how many?
675. And then Macaria, you get an extra 250 for the drinking contest. And then, God, who made the roll? I'm gonna split it. I think it was Macaria and Rin. Macaria and Rin both get another 125 for negotiating the bandit intimidation, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm at 1173.
Yeah.
Oops. Wrong way, Lauren.
Got so many more hit points than me.
All right.
Okay.
It's not so bad.
All right.
Okay.
Well, why don't we make like our characters and take a quick break, and then we can try to execute at least the beginning of Operation Destroy All LARPers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll be back in like 16 hours, right?
Yeah,
Make like
exactly.
our characters. Yeah.
That's right. So stick around. We will be right back to conclude today's episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's the Dungeon of Mad Mage. Though there's no Mad Mage today, there's just a lot of vampires. Just so many vampires. So maybe let's fix that problem, shall we? Yeah. Vampires. Yeah, let's maybe do something about that. So you spend an interminable 14 hours in Halaster's Hot Topic franchise as these vampires rotate in and out. It seems to you, by watching them, that they maintain the tunnels on the north side of the dungeon and that they make their money by stealing from, killing, or enacting a toll, at the very least, from adventurers that come and go from this part of the dungeon. Now, you've noticed that Uktarl seems to be sending off some of his bandit dudes to go and to clear the areas that you killed the goblins in, like that shrine and stuff. And so he's been expanding, right? As they go, they come back like dirty and tired. And then he sends more out to be like, all right, go and make this area livable for us. And then we'll expand into it. And it looks like they're trying to take over more than just these northern tunnels. But of course, Uktarl is being foiled by his former vampire aloy, ally Haria.
Wait, are we talking about Alloy now?
Yeah.
The redhead?
Aloy.
Oh, sorry.
Ally. Aloy. Alloy. Anyway,
Got it.
so that's what's going on. They're vampires coming and going. Rin, you have your circlet recharged now. The circlet is Dawn.
Yeah,
Dawn has come and
scorching,
gone.
blasting circlet of doom.
Yeah. Now I get why the circlet recharges at dawn, because it's like shoots fire lasers and stuff. But like, man, that's annoying to keep track of. Because now I need to know what time it is outside as the 24-hour. Because you're sleeping in the middle of the day. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah.
You have it back now. It is re-empowered.
Okay, so did Jewel put on the hat?
So yeah, Jewel, do you want to talk about that, or are you keeping it in your pocket for now?
I think she's figured it out, and she just kind of like tucks it away.
Okay.
I don't think she tells anyone yet.
All right.
Okay.
You have the goofiest magic item we've discovered so far. You let me know when you want to use it.
She wants to surprise them.
I think so too. All right.
She
So
wants to, her plan is at some point stealth away, put it on, come back.
mhm. So what are you gonna do? What's the plan now?
So we need to talk to Uktarl.
Yes, we need a private audience.
Yeah, and as he sort of fade back in the group, there's a little gathering of vampires, and one of them is just finished, and he is like, and thus ends the Canto of Darkness Part 5. I have been working on Part 6 for quite some time, and I know that many of you are fans of my work. Please, just give me another few weeks, and I will have completed it. And then the Dark Fang cycle will be finished, and my opus will be ready for the world at large.
I have a suggestion for the finale.
And he turns and like scowls at you, and he says, "What is it, outsider?"
Why don't you stand upon the stage, slit your own neck, and let the blood flow from it until you're dead? That'd be a great finale.
He looks at you and he says, "I will consider it." And then he like cape wafts away.
What? It would.
You can have access to Part 6 slightly earlier if you pledge at least 5 gold on my Patreon.
That's right. Yeah. Just head on over to patreon.com/Lord Bloodtalon, and you can get access to all the newest chapters before anybody else. I'll be publishing my ebook in 2020. So yeah, you want to get a meeting with Uktarl, right?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Uktarl.
Okay.
Now we get going.
So, like, I'll ask someone to get him, and you know that we have some delicate information to discuss with him.
Okay. All right. So one of the vampires goes off and like retrieves him, or goes to tell him that. Make a
Information is his insights.
make a persuasion check.
Can make them outside.
Okay. 12.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so the guy goes to fetch him, and Uktarl and two of his childer come with him, and they come out into the main room, and There's not a lot of like the flow in this room is just terrible. There's not a lot of like standing room. Damn statues.
All right, because the damn statues. Got
Yeah.
it.
So Uachtaral comes out, I guess, to talk to you. And he comes out and he says, one of them said that you needed to talk to me about something. Is she dead? Did you do it?
No, but I have some information.
I don't need information from you, adventurer. I need you to kill my rival.
We went to speak to her because you did say that convincing her to return would also be acceptable. And she has a similar view about you, and I'm thinking perhaps we can play off of that.
What are you talking about?
I know that if it were my rival, I would want to be the one who sees the life leave their eyes. I say in my most vampire, like LARPer vibe. So, if you and I pretend that I've done as she wanted and double-crossed you, and then I bring her triumphantly to your office as a to see your body or whatever would be left, ash, I suppose. And then you can spring your own trap and kill her yourself. I know that would satisfy me greatly, were I you. I'm just hoping to give you the benefit of the killing blow.
Make another persuasion check.
14.
Okay. So let's see how he responds to you. So
I'm edgelording this as hard as I can. Just
Yeah.
so you know, Rin is like fully edgelording this.
Yeah, he looks at you and he scowls and you can see him like he's thinking it over. And he says, that kind of Byzantine plotting is exactly what she would have you do. No, this needs to be done clean and fast and straightforward. I've seen your work. I know you're not afraid of a little blood. Now get up there. Kill her for me. I'm tired of this fight. We have expanding to do.
You'd like it to be done directly.
And he shakes his head and he says, I don't care. Just get rid of her.
Right now, straight away.
Yay.
8, you're standing on a statue.
It's okay.
8,
It's going
you're
through the
walking
statue.
on a statue.
And he says, I don't have time for any more of this feud. Go and finish her off.
I look over my shoulder. I'm like, 8.
Yeah, just like slowly, like kind of walking out.
All right, we'll get it done right away.
Is it time for?
Yeah,
That's
supposed to be the cue for like kill this guy.
Okay.
All right, so 8, you can get a free shot on him, and then we'll roll initiative because you did plan a little ambushy ambush.
La 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 la.
Oh, you want this done directly? Oh, okay, man.
Directly right now, like right.
You whiffed it.
You whiffed it real bad. A double 11s on a +9.
Wow.
I did it, everyone.
Can I
So
get a jump on it because I'm always murder
that's it.
thirsty?
So with the celerity of the undead, he leaps aside as your javelin thrusts into the air, and he snarls and he's like, "Traitors!" And he shouts, "Arise! Arise, my children! Wake from your torpor! We are betrayed!" And they do.
I'm guessing if we can kill this dude, none of them will do anything.
Wow,
my
2 nat 20s on initiative.
Yeah, wow, y'all are quick.
I felt bad about missing.
I'm pretty sure.
You just really needed a second chance.
3 nat 20s on
Wow.
initiative.
I'm pretty sure Merkel Priest guy is like not gonna fight to the death of.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him
This
straight
shit.
away.
No,
Where-
kill the fucking
Okay.
focus.
So, Jewel, you see this happen. You see 8 thrust forward. You see Uachtaral dodge out of the way as the metal stake strikes empty air. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna run up and stab him.
Okay.
I should be able to get all the way there because these are all allies. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, right there. Stabby, tabby, stabby. 20.
Okay.
I really hope his AC isn't above 20.
No, it's not. You hit him. Sorry, I gotta re-add him to the initiative. There we go.
For 22 damage.
Okay, cool. All right, so your attack does a lot more, and he takes 22 damage. You stab him with cricket, and he's like, "Curse you, a magic blade!" And he's not. It hurts him bad. He hisses in pain.
I think she.
I love you're giving him plausible deniability, right? Because he's just like, I cannot be harmed except by magic. A magic sword, my only weakness. Definitely still a vampire. I'm
gonna shift everyone more to at least be able to get 8 next to me if these other bozos want to swarm.
Okay.
Oh, do you have your bonus action?
I had to draw my sword, presumably, because I don't think we were
Right.
like, because we were talking to him, we weren't like actively aggressing. So
yeah, you didn't have your weapons out. That definitely has to be a thing. 8 did it because 8 was like walking up with the javelin.
Yeah.
Okay, is that your turn, Jewel?
Yep.
All right, 8. Your turn. You try to
Redeem yourself.
Try.
Finish him.
Does that hit?
It does not. So you lunge at him and he parries the blow.
He has more than 16 armor. I'm never gonna hit this guy.
So he deflects the attack. You can make your second attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, that attack hits. Yep.
That'll do.
This
That
dude
was
is
a
committed to
24.
die before breaking character.
All right, I stab him. I mark him for being marked. And I push him over.
Okay, all right.
Silly vampire. Push him down.
Okay.
I don't do it.
All right, let's see. So he makes it's a dexterity.
8 rolled 12 to push him over.
Sorry, I rolled the wrong thing. It's an athletics check, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Or acrobatics if he's dexterous.
Wow, he did really bad. He got an 8. So you knock him to the ground.
I have practice pushing over nerds.
So you just stab him and then knock him down. He starts getting up. You knock him down again.
Give him a wedgie.
All right, Makaria, it is your turn.
Toll the dead
Okay.
on that nerd.
Okay.
He dies first, and then the rest.
Bong. Saving throw.
I point
is
at
DC
him,
15.
and then the DC 15 for the saving throw. Yeah, I point at him and then say, "The Lord of Bones claims your soul."
All right. So he takes 15 necrotic damage.
Fuck yeah.
And he grabs his chest. There's blood all over him. All right, and he shouts. He's like, "My children, protect your maker!" And they all snarl and rush to attack you.
Good.
So
They're in deep.
here they come. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't roll for Copper Stormforge. Let me get him on the
I'll throw
initiative.
a beanbag at you.
Lightning bolt. He goes flying. Oh no! You've gotten me. All right, so here we go. So they run in hissing in their best. I'm a vampire.
Cool.
Okay. And
Okay,
then-
but which one of these is Randolph?
Randolph is not currently around.
Lame.
So give me 1 second.
Randolph left during the third act of the dark.
Yeah. Randolph's not a big fan. He's got a competing wicked fiction thing going on. All right. So Jewel, Rin, and 8 all see this because it's on the right side of the statue. I guess everybody can see it. This door pops open because some more vampires come in. Okay. All right. And then the bandits that ran in, they're going to attack. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So there's 5. All right. So let's see. 1 on 8 and 2 on Jewel. Ha. Nope. I got a 20.
Sorry.
And then 2 on Jewel. An 18 for 3, Jewel. It's 1 more attacking you. I don't know if you want to.
3, I'm not even going to bother to stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just take 3 damage.
All right. And then the second one is a miss. Okay, and then two
I
of
feel like I
them.
want my reaction in case someone moves.
One attacks. I was gonna call him Cotton. Copper. One attacks Copper. And it's a hit for 4. All right. So
He
the
doesn't die. What
so
about me?
the vampire. I'll get you in a second. So the vampire comes running up, slashes Copper across the chest, and he grabs his chest. He staggers back. He's like, "Ugh, God, I've had it up to here with these damn vampires." And he like lunges at them to attack. And then the last one attacks Macaria with the scimitar and gets an 18 for
Jesus.
3.
Okay, so how much damage?
3 damage.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all them. Uktarl gets to his feet. And then he so he stands up and he's like, see, my wounds heal even as you watch. They don't, and they're not. And then he attacks Rin with his first attack.
He's marked, isn't he?
Yes, he is marked.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? Okay. All right. So then he'll
He feels a compulsion to attack instead 8, the giant guy that looks like he probably can't get hit.
yeah, he parried you the first attack. He's gonna risk it.
He's feeling good about it. He's dodged 2 attacks.
Yeah, you gotta use your reaction to do it. So you can only do it once. So he
All right, come at me.
yeah, he takes a swing at Rin.
It doesn't use my reaction. It's a bonus action on my turn.
And then it's just any time. Can you use it more than once in a round?
No, the reaction, like the attack.
So, okay, so all it
reaction.
does. Oh, this is. I'm mixing it up with Sentinel. I was waiting for
it's
you to
not
attack.
sensible. Yeah,
Right.
sensible.
It's so he just has disadvantage.
Yes, he does.
Oh, okay. This is better then. Okay. All right. What's your armor class, Rin?
13.
Okay, so he misses on the first attack. He makes another one. He gets a 9, and then he gets a third attack with a dagger. So he has a scimitar and a dagger on his hand.
Yep.
Okay, and so yeah, you're able to dodge out of the way. He doesn't. He just. Yeah,
He's like
swinging at you.
side-eyeing 8 the whole time.
I am not used to being at the front of the fight,
Mhm.
but it seems I'm okay.
Copper attacks with his short sword. And hits for 7. All right, and then again. And he crits for 9.
Whoa.
Good job, Copper.
Uh,
Good boy.
so Copper stabs.
I just kills one of the LARPers.
Yeah,
man.
Copper knocks aside the guy's scimitar, stabs him in the chest, yanks it out. The guy like grabs his chest, looks up like, "Oh God!" And then Copper hacks his head off. The body falls over backwards. The head lands on the ground. And yeah, so Copper snaps the blood off his sword and says to nobody, "Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill." And then he looks at the bandit next to him, and of course, in character, all of the vampires are like, "Oh no, beheading! One of the few things that can kill our kind." Like they're all still like fully.
These guys
in
are
it.
dedicated. I will give them props. They are staying in character long after I would have run out of the room.
I
like,
would
"Oh,
have run screaming if someone like beheaded one of my buddies.
So, yeah, Rin, it's your turn.
I shall. I'm tempted to draw my longsword and just go in on this nerd, but also I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I will instead Dissonant Whispers. Make a will save, Adam.
Okay.
Not actually a vampire.
And this is
Your
on
costume is half-assed.
this is on. Hey, his costume's great. This is on what's his name, right?
Yeah,
Uktarl.
Carl,
Okay.
yeah.
His costume is theater grade. I'll have you know.
I think
Oh,
we're
shoot.
like we're our idea is if we can take him down, the other guys might just
He
run.
critically fails.
Okay, so he takes 11 psychic damage and then must move away from myself, 8 and Jewel, and take all the AOPs that require that
I
come
love
with
that.
that.
Okay, he moves once. He moves away from you.
I stab him.
Okay, yeah, do it.
I love stabbing.
Okay, you hit him. Oh, actually, you don't. No, you miss. You missed that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Must be 18 then.
He's got some nice armor under there.
He parries you. You would have hit him, but he knocks your weapon aside with his.
Doesn't that take a reaction?
Yes.
Which he just used to
Just
move.
used to move.
Oh, he has to use his reaction. Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks. Yes, you hit him.
Sweet, 13 more damage.
Okay, he's dead.
Sick.
So yeah, you just stab him in the back.
Don't run from me, foolish vampire.
What? How do all the other vampires look at this turn of events?
It's not their turn, so they don't look like anything. But
That's stupid.
on their
It's
turn.
the same
Well,
time.
no, but this is the thing: is like I don't roll morale for them until it's their turn,
Yeah,
so
I know.
nothing is any different until we
It's
get
fine.
there.
It's fine. I'm just.
Yeah. It's your turn, Ren. What are you gonna do?
That was my turn. I just didn't whispered that nerd.
That's right. Yeah, because this was your action. All right, Jewel.
Jewel sees that he's dead. Sees a sword in her hand. She's just surrounded by a lot of people. She kind of glances over at Rin,
Awful.
shrugs, and just stabs one of them.
Okay.
I'll start. I'm surrounded, so I'm gonna start with the bottom one. Let's do it. 14.
You hit.
Okay. Yeah, because I want a bonus action. I'm not gonna sneak attack this one. Actually, can't because
You can't.
there's
Yeah.
no one next to me, so that's fine. I'll just roll basic. 10 damage.
Okay. You wound, but do not kill him.
Okay. And then because I forgot that I couldn't sneak attack, I'm gonna go for the one that I can sneak attack.
Okay.
There's 8 standing next to it with the offhand. My
Mhm.
bonus action.
Your other short sword, your goblin short sword.
Yeah, my new one. Sorry, I've got to fix the damage on this real fast. Because it was gonna add more.
You should name your short sword dagger.
Short 13.
You miss.
Ah, nuts. Okay,
And then Garnet till Alexandra is the 17th.
tried. All right, that's her turn.
Okay. All right. 8. Your turn.
I'm gonna stab this man.
'Kay.
Like, I don't care if they're like gonna start running away. I'm just killing all of them. I'm so fed up with them. I'm just gonna kill as many as I can, as fast as I can.
Okay.
One on my immediate right.
You hit.
17 hits. 10 points of damage.
All right.
How's he doing? I've got to stab him again.
You do. Yeah. He's still alive.
Okie dokie. What about? Oh yeah, 14.
That's a
hit.
hit. Yep.
Further 14 points of damage.
All right. He is not dead.
Okay, I'll push him over.
Okay.
Just bullying these nerds. Bully. 16.
You do not push him over. He leaps away from you with preternatural grace, and you like swing your shield into the air.
Oh my god, one of them's actually a vampire.
Yeah, for 8, this is just like a slow, like, oh, these are all these poses, they're all awful. And then they're like actually fighting, and they're like, oh, okay. All right, I kind of respect this now. It's okay.
All right. So Makaria, it's your turn.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
super excited. I'm gonna move diagonally over here. I'm still in that guy's opportunity, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my action to animate dead his friend.
It takes a minute though, so you can't.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
It's not like an action.
No, sadly, you can't cast it in combat. I know that would be really cool, but
Oh, that'd be the coolest.
No, it
okay,
takes a
never
minute.
Mind.
I mean, you could do it in a fight, but it takes a long time.
No, I'm not gonna use 10 turns to animate a dead person.
Yeah,
Get like
the fight will be
whacked
over
on
by then.
this. Yeah, it's
Yes,
fine.
make more dead people in prepreparation for when you want casting.
Okay, I just thought it was like I didn't realize it was a
Later,
minute.
there are
That's so
spells.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
later there are
it's a
spells you
shame.
can do that.
Okay, well, later I'll learn spells where I can do that.
Finger of Death.
Instant Zamboni is too early.
It's such a cool move, Finger of Death.
Mm-hmm.
Well then that guy came up at me and he hit me with his stupid
Scimitar.
scimitars.
Yep.
So I'm gonna grab his
No, you're not.
gonna do that.
Ha!
I got an 8. I
Yeah.
would have grabbed his face and
So this is
passed, like, the-
Lord
but
this is
instead I
Lord
don't.
Blood Talon that you're fighting. So you like lunge at him, and he says, "Ha ha ha ha! Slow mortal, you'll never catch me!" Ha ha ha! And he like
Wow,
waves the
eat
sword in your
shit and
face.
die.
So you're good.
Yes.
All right. Lord Dark Talon takes a swing at you.
I'm so sad that I didn't get to animate a dead yet.
He gets a
but-
5 and misses. So the two of you dancing in the air. Jewel, 2 of them attack. 2 of the bandits attack you.
Oh, oops, I forgot to mark one. Sorry.
Neither of them hit. Then these ones, they're gonna run in to protect their friends. And these ones come in. There we go. One second here. Okay, and then up here, the one that you're fighting, 8. I think, yeah, he's not marked, so he's gonna go for Rin, but he doesn't have weapons. He doesn't have any weapons. He just like lunges out with a fist at Rin.
Okay.
He gets a 22.
I cannot stop at 22, so I
Okay.
will.
You
yep,
take
hit him.
7 bludgeoning damage,
Ow.
and then a second swing, which is a 13. You dodge the second one.
Secretly, like one dude who's actually a vampire spawn or something. Yeah, I like to think so.
And then let's see, 3 attacks on Jewel. So let's see here. 1.
Didn't you already make 2 of them?
Yeah, didn't I already get attacked twice?
Oh, do we start with you? Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
use these for. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, we did yours. Oh, you're right. I'm going around this way.
It's not even
Yeah.
5 next to me.
So two on Jewel, and then yeah, one more on Rin. That's how it was. Yeah. All right.
I didn't do my job.
So that's a miss. And then 1 on Copper and 1 on Macaria. So this is against Copper.
Wait, you already attacked me with what's his butt?
Yeah, I know. I got you. It's this guy is the one that has left. Okay, we're done. Yeah, and the one on you is good. So we're doing. I was just doing a mental checklist of all the ones.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Uktarl's dead. Copper will attack the one in front of him. And he gets a 21 and deals 4 damage. And then he gets a second attack. And that is 13. So he misses. Okay. Rin, your turn.
I was kind of hoping these guys would fold. Let's see. How can I make this work? Well, first things first, I think I have to disengage because my AC is not gonna hold up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm gonna disengage up this way.
I don't know. It's a cool. There's blood everywhere. It's
Good
cool.
blood ray.
I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
Disengage will take all of my actions.
Okay, yeah, disengage and fall back. All right, Jewel, your turn.
Stab time.
Yeah,
really,
this dude,
was
for some reason, is still alive.
Yeah,
the
that's
one in the
right.
center. Have we even hit him?
Yes,
Yeah, we've
twice.
hit like a bunch.
Okay. I also know I stabbed the one on the bottom. I'm gonna stab him because
Stab everybody.
just
Yeah, do
I'm
it.
gonna get the one in between me and 8 because I will be a lot better off if I'm standing next to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have moved this to you on it.
That's okay.
And then-
Friggin' A. That I assume misses with
Yes,
the 10.
that is a miss. Yep.
So we're gonna offhand try again.
That is also a miss. Oh, baby.
This is it. That's my turn. I'm a
Okay.
rogue. I got nothing else to do.
Rough.
All right, 8, your turn.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I'll attack that middle one also. That probably hits.
It is. Yeah, that's a hit.
Dealing 14 points of damage.
All right, still alive.
Mark him.
Okay.
Uh, 19.
Okay. All right.
Further 14.
All right, so that kills him. So this time, when you stab him, you yank the sword out. I need to check something real quick. What happens when this guy dies?
No, not the brain thing.
Hold on, I gotta check. Something.
No.
I gotta check something real quick here.
Oh,
Let's see.
we underestimated them.
We were so cocky after that fight. We thought we took on 30 goblins. We can take on anything.
Yeah. Okay. So when you stab him, you yank the sword out. The clothes are still the same, right? He's still got the like leather pants and like the Jim Morrison haircut, but the haircut vanishes, as do the rest of his features, and he takes on a strange grayish effect.
He's a doppelganger.
He is a doppelganger. That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see one of these guys. Boop.
Oh.
But he's like wearing cool goth clothes.
Oh, what are the chances he was exactly the one we started fighting as well?
Yeah, and now he's dead. Blah.
He's dying. Right. I'm gonna move into the gap. I can stand on his corpse, yeah, just because it's.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just knock him down and step on his body. Yep.
Okay. In which case, I will knock over. You already started on this one, right? Actually, it doesn't matter for you.
So that was a doppelganger, LARPing as a LARPer, LARPing as a vampire.
Yes. Yeah. It's a nested falseness.
It's the matryoshka doll of LARPing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'll bash the dude. Excuse me. To the north of me.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
20.
Okay.
I'm gonna push him 5 feet back, so he's back into melee with. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, he gets an 11, and so is knocked down. Oof. Right. Makaria, I believe that makes it your turn.
All right. This fool in front of me needs to die.
Okay.
I guess I need more than what I got. I thought we would be done with this by now.
Mm-hmm.
I just like it's fine. It's worth it. Okay, I'll cast Spiritual Weapon. I'm aiming at the fellow, and I guess I'll put it like in between me and Copper.
I heard the word spiritual, and I was like,
No, I will not prepare spiritual guardians because I hate chat.
Let me find
Harsh.
your little Scully friend. Here he
Let's
is.
go.
Oh yeah, and you wanted him
Green.
to be,
He's a green boy.
be green. Yeah.
Does a 16 hit?
Hold on. Yes, 16 is sufficient.
Okay, so it deals 12 force damage on the fella in front of me.
Is that where you wanted it?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks so great.
All right. So it deals 12 force damage, killing him instantly.
So what happens is like I try to like grab his face and cast inflict wounds, and he like, then tries to like hack me with a scimitar, and neither of us are successful. And then like I make like I'm gonna like punch him with my shield or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And instead I cast spiritual weapon, and the skull like knocks at his face or whatever.
I love
And
it.
then I laugh, and then I point at the guy behind him as he falls, and I say, "You're next." And I do Toll the Dead
Okay. All right. So
on that fella.
will attempt to resist your tolling. He gets an 11.
So he takes. Has he already been hit?
Yes.
He takes 15 necrotic damage.
Yeah, he's dead.
There, I was right.
All right. Anything else, Makaria?
No, I just laugh maniacally.
Okay. All right. So. All right, they keep fighting. Let's see here. I don't think there's a ton of attacks this turn. Hold on. Where's this guy? 60? Okay. I'm just going to move the dead guys aside because we're running into that same problem as before.
We just keep coming up on groups
Excuse
and
me,
not
8.
having AoE.
There
It's
we
so
go.
weird.
Okay, all right. So that's one. So
I
there's more of them
definitely
running
just
out of
rested
the.
and could have prepared spirit guardians, but I didn't.
They're running out of the torpor room. So these guys are coming in. None of them get to attack, but the ones that are close already do. And it looks like there's 4 of them. So this one gets up, and 2.
While they're spending their time in that room, are they incorporeal?
One of them attacks 8, thinking it's possible.
That's fair.
Misses, of course. One of them attacks Copper. Oh dear. Copper gets crit for 12 and is killed.
What?
So Copper gets a scimitar in the back. Like he sees Makari, he sees you kill again. He looks over at you and he's like, "Hey, good work." The sword pops out of his chest. He's just like, "Ah!" And he yanks out of his back.
No.
And he falls on the ground face down in a pool of his own
Alex,
blood.
God damn it. Ugh.
Hey, you know what's
That's
interesting?
fine.
You know what's interesting? If you kill everybody that that Haleth wants to kill before Haleth comes back, he never comes back.
No,
He'll
but I
stay
want him
dead.
to come back. I want him to be my imprisoned boyfriend.
And then that's 2, and then 2 of them attack Jewel. 1. Which is a hit for 17.
Holy shit, I will have that.
No, not. Sorry, you don't take 17 damage. I'm waiting for Rin to see if. Yeah, that was definitely not a hit for
I
17
was
damage.
Like,
It's
17 damage, Jesus.
yeah, sorry, it's a hit on it's a hit on 17.
I'll cut and words it.
Okay.
Why not?
All right, so go
Why
ahead
not? I
and
haven't done it yet. Let's hit it up.
AC 16. I was suddenly very worried.
suddenly
about
just
that.
massive damage from one of these guys.
Blam.
Okay, so it misses.
I was like, the last one hit me for 3.
And the second attack is a
Your
10.
fangs are falling out.
Okay, so that's the bandit's second attack. Copper is dead. Rin, your turn.
Okay then. Let's see. I think it's time to start mocking vampire larpers.
This is
Damn,
easy.
cold.
This one.
It's
Okay.
like,
Get mocked, son.
Get mocked on. I got a 12.
So Rim casually says, your cloak is ripped and your pants are too tight by at least a size.
He looks over at you, tears in his eyes. He's like, "It's part of the look. You don't understand.
3 psychic damage.
It's not a phase." Okay, he takes 3 psychic damage.
That's it.
All right,
That's all I got.
Jewel.
stabbing time. Let's finish them off. I'm gonna start with the one that I had already stabbed once.
Okay.
Please work. Sword. 14.
You hit.
Oh, thank the Lord. I am not gonna sneak attack this
Okay.
one because I've already hit him once. Let's see what happens for 9 damage.
Dead. Super dead.
Cool. And then I'm gonna go to the other one with the offhand.
Okay.
With the second short sword, just like huh, huh. That's how you stab people.
Yeah, it's totally a stab people.
For 13?
You hit him. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And then I can sneak attack on this one.
Oh yeah, he's toast.
I
What was that too?
don't know.
The 2 is just a d6. I don't know what that's for. Oh, it
think
was
that-
use your
that
weapon.
should be
use
the
your weapon
damage.
Yeah.
I don't know why it
so
rolled 2d.
Either way, if it's 14 plus 2 or 14 plus 5, they're both enough to kill him. So he's toast too. Just like a whirling
You're
blade
so good at
tornado.
stabbing.
Let me check the damage on this sword. I probably just entered it wrong.
It's offhand, so you don't get your bonus. A d6 looks right.
Yeah, I just don't know why it rolled the d6 twice.
Oh yeah, I don't know either. That's fine. But you, it's probably entered in there twice. But that's all right. 16 is enough to kill him. Anything else, Jewel? Or are you good where you are?
That's it. Yeah.
All right, 8, your turn.
There's
Can you
still
kill 2 of
targets.
them in one turn?
Yeah.
I'll
Now it's
try.
a competition.
It's a competition. Everybody else has been doing it. All right.
North first.
Mhm. Yep, you hit.
Okay.
All right. Dead. Blech.
Oh. Well, okay.
This guy'd been poked already. He just got psychic damage.
Ah, right. Yeah. One on the left.
Okay. That's
12.
enough to kill him. Yep, you kill 2. Blech.
We're all killing 2 people. That's so nice.
I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna use action search. Oh, 4.
Hey.
Okay, all right. So you
Zero.
Shoot a
Nova.
pumpkin eater.
rush forward. Yep, you hit.
More blood.
It's everywhere.
Another 13
Okay,
on
dead.
another dude.
Killed.
Oh, cool.
It's going for the 4 for 4.
All right, there you go.
This is
Hit.
AoE chat. Like you've never seen it before.
Dead. Killed. All right, good.
It's the last movement to engage these ones.
Okay. Makaria, it's your turn.
I, raise my eyebrows because that was really fast, killing 4 people, and I'm very impressed. And then I will mentally command my skull to go over here.
Okay.
and it will attack first, or attempts to.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 20 hit?
Sure
I'm
does.
assuming that it does. For 9 force damage.
Okay. Yep. You deal 9 force damage.
He's still standing.
Yes.
I say, release your soul to the hands of Merkel, Keon, and I cast Toll the Dead on the same guy.
Okay.
Theon.
Mm-hmm.
DC 15.
I guess a 5.
He takes 12 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I assume releases his soul? No?
Nope. He's still alive.
Oh, fancy one.
Uh-huh.
Fancy pants.
All right. Anything else, Makaria? You want to move or are you good?
No, I'm great.
All right. This one takes the disengage action. And then
Gotta go get that one. That one's a strong one.
I think he turns to run. Let's see.
I got him.
The doppelgangers.
You know what? He can't get anywhere good with just one run, so he'll just run. He won't take the disengage. So you can, if you want to use your reaction 8, you can.
Yeah. I'll give him a quick little stab in the butt.
Stab him in the butt.
Book. Oh yeah, that's a hit. Uh-huh. Okay.
15.
All right. So he gets 1. He's still alive. He moves 30 and then another. And then another. Okay. All right. The other 2, they form up and they attack you. One of them shouts "Coward" as the other runs, and then these 2 Dime Store vampires load up to attack 8. One of them, I got a crit. I get a crit. Hooray! You take 8 damage.
Yeah, just wait until I'm level 6 and I can make crits into regular hits.
Yeah, I got another one. You take another 8 damage.
What? How
Boom!
dare you? How dare you?
That's what you get.
Wow.
Sorry, I've just entered something weird.
So yeah, you take 16. And that's all the bandits. Apparently the good ones. Rin, it is your turn.
Well then, time to mock some more vampire larpers. Let's do it. I vicious mockery the one directly in front of 8.
Okay. All right. That one. Let's see here. Nope. Get out of here, Cobblestone Forge. You're dead. You're dead as hell. Okay. There we go.
And
All
that
right.
makes me sad.
At least he's not going to take XP from us.
Gets
want
3.
Halleck to come back.
So he takes 7.
Okay, take 7 damage.
Halleck, come back.
And I say something to the effect of, vampires can shower too.
Burnt.
Sakina's running water though.
Cool. Jewel, I think it's your turn.
What if this one that's running away is getting reinforcements?
Yeah, chase him down. I'll be
I
fine.
mean, he's a doppelganger. He's worth more XP. Go get him.
All right. Well, Jewel, hearing all of these meta pieces of knowledge in her
Or
mind,
he's a vampire for real.
I'm fine here. Let none survive.
okay. Jewel, I'm gonna take the dash action, so we're gonna make it down to here real fast, and then
Pew!
see what I can see.
Yeah, because you can go like
What about your kitty powers?
Yeah,
whatever. Okay.
I think I can make it to here with 60 feet, and
Yep.
then I should be able to close the distance. Yep, exactly.
Because you were there, and then
Yeah.
you
So
got
I went
90.
down.
Okay.
And then over. Yeah. So she closes the distance with all of her speed. In a flash of fur, she runs up and she's like, not so fast, and then stabs with Cricket.
Okay. Go for it.
19.
Yep, that's a hit.
Okay. 22 damage.
Oh, you kill him. Just stab him in the back, and he reverts to as you expected,
God, we're so evil.
doppelganger form.
I love it.
He's evil.
Someone tried to get away from us, and we just straight up
You're
chased
running away. Jewel mercilessly tracks him down.
Just
And,
throw
like,
yourself
we weren't
across the
even-
room
Yes.
and stab.
We weren't even told to kill
You
that
weren't.
guy.
No, you were supposed to just remember, because she was like, kill him and then tell the other ones that they can join. And no one has mentioned that. Like, if you wanted to stop the fight, you
No.
probably could have been like,
Nah.
no one else has to
Haria-
die. You can join with Haria.
Never
But
seen
no.
that. Never the one to stop the fight.
No, I love
She
it.
will run
I thought
away.
that they
or she
would
will-
come
Alright.
to the realization on their own that their leader was fucking dead.
8,
but
would you like
that's
to finish the
my
would you like to finish the job?
mistake, I guess.
Kill them all.
Okay. Kill them all and let Kane sort them out.
Did I miss?
You do miss, yes.
What a sticky goose. Oh. Let's try that again.
Okay.
Let's do some damages. I'll stab a guy.
It's okay that you didn't hit him the first time. He's a little bit salubri. I'm so sorry. All right. You deal 12 damage. That one's very dead. Yeah.
Push the other one over in case he tries to run as well.
You kill one and then just like knock his friend down. Okay. Oof.
Oh, it's pretty okay on those.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to avoid. All right, let's see. Haha, I get a 4. Down you go. You slam that nerd into the wall with your shield.
Shove him in a locker.
Yeah. All right, Makaria, your turn.
I'm gonna take a last swipe with my cool skull.
Okay. I think you have advantage melee against a prone target.
Oh, is it
Roll again
melee?
because it might be a crit.
I don't know if spiritual weapon is. I guess it's
It's
in
a melee
range.
attack. Yep.
Yeah. It's a 15. Does that hit?
That's it. Yeah.
So that would deal 6
damage,
force
okay.
damage.
Yep.
And he's not dead yet.
No, he's not dead. He's lying on the ground being like, as a skull head butts him into the floor.
I point at him and say, "Join your brethren," and then I cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
That's the exact same damage roll you've done every time this fight.
Except for backwards.
All right. Here we go.
No, I did a 3 and 12 last time.
He crits and gets the save.
Okay, well then he takes no damage,
Yeah.
but I still yell at him.
Yeah, he's like, I can't die yet. I haven't finished my work.
Oh, he's the poet?
Yeah.
Oh, Ren, you
That's
gotta
like-
finish this guy.
So he gets up.
He's the one that made you exhausted.
And he's gonna run for it. He flees. So if you have your reaction, 8, please.
Oh no.
You hit him. And he dies.
Oh,
He turns to run and then just stabbed through the back and then thump, falls on the ground.
Chapter 6 will never be written.
I mean, I told him what he should do for his last chapter. This is fine. I almost immediately go over to Copper and I'm just like, no, you have to wake up.
He's dead.
God damn it, you foolish dwarf.
He's pounding on his chest, shouting like, live, damn you.
Yeah.
No, he's extremely dead. He's been speared through the back.
Oof.
We out of combat then.
Yes, the fight is definitely over. I'm just taking notes. Okay, so you killed 1 bandit leader.
I'm not going to use raise dead on this asshole. I'm going to use animate dead on this asshole. Also, I don't have raise dead. I have animate dead.
Oh, hi, Jewel. Excuse me a moment. I'm piling corpses. I think two doppelgangers. Okay, all right. So doppelganger.
Oh, that many?
There were 2 of them, yeah. And then 1 bandit captain.
I'm not going to waste a scroll on this
1, 2, 3, 4.
douchebag.
That's a that's a doppelganger, and that's a doppelganger. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11
So you can kill him again.
bandits. 11.
It's not only
Okay.
the dwarf that the Revenant's after. We still have a chance to find
Yeah, he's got a whole party. This is just one of the fine fellows of Daggerford.
Let's see. It's just the only one we found.
Yeah, exactly. Lauren.
Rusty
Um,
Daggerford.
So, should we go tell Haria then? Or we
I
could
suppose so.
kill her. Nope.
Well, I mean, whatever you do, you're gonna have to do it next time because
Yeah.
that's it. We have run out of time for today's adventure.
How
I know.
is it
I know. This one
already
just
time?
blasted by.
Yeah, this is a real
it's
fast episode. Like,
Oh, I'm so glad that you came back up because I was really worried you would go through level 1 without getting to meet the. You never learn the name of the gang. They're the Undertakers.
Oh,
Of course they are.
They saw you when you came in, and then they fled to like tell their leader, and they kind of have been watching you, but they didn't interrupt because you were killing their enemies. So they're yep. And now you've killed half of them. So yeah, cool. We'll shout it out, and we'll make way for whoever's next. Well, I mean, I feel like this was the LARP episode, so let's let Elf start, please. Elf, go ahead.
hello, friends. You can come by my channel at twitch.tv/distractedelf or on Twitter at distractedelf. I tell many stories about my own LARPing adventures, most of them dark fantasy, not vampire related, but that sort of thing. And if you want to see me doing more like casual role playing, I do a bunch of Neverwinter Nights role playing stuff. So you should come by and hang out while I play an edgy drow or a murderous druid or whatever else.
Sweet. Cool. Let's jump over this way. Blue Jay, do it.
Hey, it's me, Blue Jay, and it was really fun hearing Adam make a bunch of Vampire the Masquerade references that I now understand because I'm playing Vampire the
that's right.
Masquerade on Club PA, Penny Arcade's Patreon stuff. It's really cool, and now I get references that I would not have gotten last week. So I'm glad that we ran into them now. You can find me other times over on twitch.tv/BlueJay or on Twitter at BlueJay_712, where I post about all the nerdy stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. All right, cool. Thanks. Dave, go next.
Yep. Thanks again, everyone. This is a really funny episode. I'm constantly in awe at how entertaining these, like, otherwise kind of a little bit dry dungeon delves Adam makes it every week. I'm super glad to be playing. If you'd like to follow my stuff, I'm on Twitch at Dave_human. I'm on Twitter at Dave_the_human. That's that.
Excellent. Thanks, Dave. And last but not least, it's Lauren.
Hello, I am Random Tuesday. You can find me pretty much everywhere online at Random Tuesday. I make cosplay. If you join me soon, I will shortly be working on my Jewel on the Far Coast cosplay. So we're gonna get Catface all up in here, and it's something. There's prosthetics involved, and it'll be an adventure in things I don't know how to do, as it always is. Or you can watch me role playing in other places. I'm currently running a Teenage Superheroes Mask campaign on Sundays on Roll for It.
Cool. All right. Well, that's been our episode. I would like to offer special thanks and/or apologies to Mark Reinhagen, Graham Davis, Tom Dowd, and Lisa Stevens. And I'd like to believe that Stuart Week, if he were still with us, would be looking down on this game and being like, "God damn it!" So sorry, Stuart. Thanks for coming, everybody. This has been Roll20 Presents Dungeon of the Mad Mage. If you want to, you can check out all of the past episodes as well as all the prep for levels 1 and 2 on our YouTube channel, which is MS Roll20. And of course, you can play this adventure yourself at roll20.net. So thanks for coming, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.